handhelds? Could you, Dante, can you just help me with those handhelds? All right, we'll get started with questions for Jeff Weltman, President of Basketball Operations for the Orlando Magic, for everyone watching on Facebook Live. And we're going to ask that you wait for a microphone and state your name and affiliation. Go ahead, Dan.
Jeff, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Obviously, all off-season, you're preparing for this moment. You're constructing the team. Just how exciting is it to see the group together for the first time and get things underway?
This is always an exciting time of season, for all teams. Here we go again. We get to start the process of building and growing and learning and for us, developing a host of bright young players. So this is always a great day around the NBA, and I know there's a great vibe throughout our team and our organization right now.
All right, Jeff. Good job.
Thanks, guys.
Jeff, obviously you've had maybe some chance to see these guys in the gym a little bit or get to know them. What have you learned about this group and even some of the players that you acquired at the end of last season from over the off season heading into this year that has you kind of added to the excitement that you expressed last year?
Well, it's a great question because you do your homework, before the draft, before trades. It's a big part of our league is gathering intel. And so you have expectations of players when they arrive, but now we kind of have a better idea. And the thing that I'm really excited about, I always talk to you guys about the character of our players, really up and down our roster. And I feel very strongly that we have a great group of guys who are, even though they're young, they have the ability to focus on work. And that's something that sometimes has to be developed. I think that, a lot of these guys have that baked in. And so that's been a good learning process for us. And I'm excited about that part of it because the application of that is going to be, important to where we're going right now.
Jeff, Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel. Sadly, COVID is still a big deal in this country and in sports. J.I. came out on Twitter, said he's not vaccinated. I understand 90% of your players are vaccinated. What's the organization's stance on that? How much are you guys doing to educate players on the vaccine?
Well, the league has a lot of educational programs in place. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff just, out there that if you want to be educated on, but the league has done a good job of educating not just our players, but all of our staff, especially the Tier 1 and the traveling parties. Look, obviously, Jonathan felt that he was misrepresented in that article, or at least not fully represented to his thoughts. And those are questions, best served for him. I'll say that, you kind of alluded to it, Mike, but I think we're in a very good place regarding the vaccines. As a team, we feel really good about it. And the league balances all of this stuff. So, Jonathan, if he's going to be an unvaccinated player, we'll have to go through a more stringent set of protocols as prescribed by the league. And we have great faith in the league's partnership with the Players Association to prescribe a set of protocols that keeps us all healthy and safe and able to get through this season successfully. So, that's the way the system is set up, and we all kind of adhere to those rules.
One follow-up. That story you were referring to mentioned that there are some players out there who still believe that there's a microchip in the vaccine. I'm wondering, how hard is it for you guys to debunk some of this ridiculousness out there, I guess?
Well, those are kind of more one-off personal conversations that I probably, I haven't had that conversation with Jonathan. I mean, Jonathan is a very bright, discerning young man, and I don't know about conspiracy theories and all of that stuff, but, whatever question you guys have for Jonathan, I'm sure he'll, get into that with you.
Jeff, back here. This is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Just talk a bit about the difference in operations now compared to last year in the midst of the quarantine. How are things different now and being able to get back to seeing everybody in person and kind of the changes you've had to make?
You tell me. I mean, it's great to see you guys all in the same room. I mean, I've missed it. I would imagine your guys whose jobs it is to cover an NBA team, you know, it's probably better to be in the same place as the team. So I think it's great. You know, obviously we all have to do it within the protocols that are going to be, you know, prescribed by the league. But, you know, it's exciting that we're all kind of back and we get fans back. And, you know, we just hope that that was just kind of an aberration of a season and we can kind of resume normal activities now. But it's an exciting time for the league, I think. Wait, I don't answer. Hey.
Josh Robbins with The Athletic. What would you regard as a successful season?
Growth, development, learning. I'm really excited about our group. You know, we have a very talented, eager, smart, focused group of players. And, you know, it's our jobs, it's our responsibility to, you know, get them through the early phase of their career successfully. You know, I always cite this old expression, but I think it's really true. You are how you come into the league, and it's our responsibility to bring our young players into the league the right way. I think that our guys are of the right stuff. We also have a great group of veteran guys who have been through this, and they have expressed, you know, a desire and an excitement to help and guide and coach the young guys in the right way as well. So that all is part of the process. But to me, success is reintegrating our injured players, developing our young players the right way so that we can then do our own evaluations on, you know, what's going to make us win as we go forward. And, you know, you don't learn how to win unless you're preparing to win and expecting to win. So that's what will be a successful season for us this year.
Jeff, Nick Runowitz with WDBO Radio. You have two players, of course, that missed a lot of time last year. Jonathan Isaac missed the entire season. Markelle Fultz missed a chunk of the year. Where are they at in their recoveries? And do you have, I know you don't do heavy timelines, but do you have a feeling on when those guys might be back?
I will say this. Both of those guys have been, as you would expect if you cover our team, relentless in their approach. They've been working daily, grinding. They both look really good. I will not elaborate on timelines, but you know, I always talk to you guys, and to me as a layman, you know, this is where I just don't want any setbacks. You know, that's where we have to come back to you guys and say, hey, listen, you know, something's going on. But right now, they continue to progress through their rehab right on course, and they're making progress. They have not only cleared every hurdle from a timeline perspective, but they've improved. You know, they're better. And so I credit them and our staff, both performance and coaching, with you know, using that time productively. You know, throughout the season, we're going to be kind of reintroducing some guys, and that's going to be part of this season. Is, you know, Michael Carter Williams, obviously. You know, we've reported to you guys before. He'll be another returning player, and you know, he's progressing through his rehab. And even since our voluntary workouts have begun, just as a little update, you know, Chuma has like a right hip bruise that has limited his productivity. So, you know, he'll be participating in some of the stuff at the beginning of camp, and you know, he'll have to clear a couple hurdles before he gets fully reintegrated. And as you guys know, the way that we do it, If there's any, reconditioning to be done, our performance staff will address that according to the timeline. But, we look forward to, reintroducing these guys to the court and to our roster as the season unfolds. I'm sorry, I won't get into the timelines on that. But that will be part of our season. That will be part of our goals. And to Josh's question, that'll be part of how we measure success.
Sort of like with the new players that you added, you obviously did a lot of research on Coach Moe's, but what have you learned about Coach Moe's, working with him, seeing him work with players in summer league and in the off-season workouts? What have you seen and learned from him now that you've had the chance to be in the gym or see him in the gym working?
I think so much gets said of his ability to connect that I don't want to undermine his talent as a coach, But I see it all. I mean, it's evident from the day he stepped in the court. He's just he's authentic. He cares, he connects, he spends a lot of time talking about expectations and roles and how we win with our players individually. And he invests that time off the court, on the court with them. And he's a good coach. He's assembled a great staff. They've had a lot of meetings about how they want to strategize training camp and, as they start to unfold the way that they want to play. Obviously, these will be questions more suited for him, but you don't just get to say, we're going to play this way, and that's what you see from day one. Obviously, especially with a young team, that has to be earned, and it has to be practiced, and it has to be kind of ingrained in our team. This is how we do it. But obviously, there's a lot of organizing and strategizing that goes into those plans, and he's been really good about, how he's messaging through his staff to our players and the rest of the organization on expectations. So it's been an exciting summer, just getting to know him and his staff.
All right, final question for David Steele.
Hey, David Steele, Valley Sports. Hey, Jeff. You mentioned a moment ago it's important to develop young players the right way. How would you define the right way?
I mean, that's a great question, David. The right way is focusing on work, understanding what work is applied to winning, and understanding that in this league, serving your role, I guess the old expression, being the star of your role, if everybody does that, that's how teams win in this league. And the part about being a good teammate, being the same guy every day, fighting through adversity, a lot of that stuff just has to be experienced. It has to be, learned as you go. But the character of the player is what you bet on to get through those things. And, we're betting on a group of high-character young guys to get through that stuff.
All right, thank you, Jeff.
Thanks so much, guys.
Jamahl Mosley will be next. Oh, come on, what? I felt like you right now. Going up the stairs. Dante, why don't you?
Chris? Okay, go for it. Right there, the whole time. No one needs to see.
All right, questions for Coach Mosley?
Coach Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Obviously, you've worked, your whole career aspiring to be a head coach. To have your first, training camp at the helm, how exciting is that to tip off that part of the season and get things started?
It's extremely exciting. Just the group of guys that we have, the staff, the organization, the players. That's the exciting part behind it for me, is that we all get to do this, and it's our first run. And just building a foundation from there is just what's really exciting about getting going.
Coach Joe Remmett, WDBO News. Magic have obviously one of the youngest rosters probably in the NBA. How much of an impact will the veteranship be for the upcoming season?
That's a really good question. I think our veterans are going to play a huge role, and not just necessarily on the court, but off the court. working on developing how, becoming professionals, what it's like to go through 82-game season, helping them understand, the ins and outs of the game, things, that they haven't seen before. And so I think it's going to be a huge role for these guys in order to help the young guys, establish themselves in the league.
Coach, obviously you had the chance to coach some of these guys at Summer League. You've been in the gym with them. What's been sort of the work in building the relationships with the players on the roster, and what's kind of surprised you or taken you a little bit by surprise about being in the lead chair now?
The one thing that's stood out the most with these guys, even through Summer League, was their bond. I think as you grow this, it's about them being together, and they're together. The alignment they have of wanting to be in the gym, wanting to work, wanting to get better. It's been amazing just watching them and how they work and how they want to just keep pushing each other to be the best that they can be. And that's just, like I said, it's just been exciting to see that and to feel that in the gym every single day.
Nick Runowitz, WDBO News. Jamahl, this is a first for you, obviously, as being a head coach. What's the biggest difference been for you as you prepared for the upcoming season?
Nick, honestly, it's been, like I said, because of the support staff and the organization and the people that have been here, it honestly has felt very seamless because they've put me in position to grow, to work with the guys. And again, it's about being the same person that I've been and just making couple more decisions. I think that's the way that I like to look at it because we're all growing in this together, and the guys have been fantastic. The organization has been fantastic, and my staff has been fantastic, and that's the biggest thing that I'm taking away from it for now.
Okay, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Coach, you mentioned briefly the bond that you see between the players. Can I talk about do you see an eagerness and an excitement for those that are recovering from their previous season's injuries, kind of ready and itching to get back into the game?
There's an excitement. There is an excitement and a passion for those guys to get on the floor, and it's been great to watch them and the work ethic and the things that they've been going through in order to get back to the floor. Like I said, it's just to see how hard everyone's working, to strive to get to the level and to get the season started.
Coach Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. When you look at your roster, there's a lot of guard depth, and there's a lot of guards up and down this roster. How likely, there's a lot of training camp and preseason still to go ahead of you, but how likely are you this season to utilize maybe non-traditional, more athletic lineups, 2-point guard, 3-guard lineups on the floor?
Well, Aaron, you hit it right on the head. I think in such an age of positionless basketball, you have to look at different combinations that are very unique and things that, defenses can't cover and some offenses don't, how do they figure out what you're doing? So there'll be different looks that we'll throw out there, but again, it's probably too early to tell exactly what those lineups look like. But we have the options of trying to see which ones we can throw out there.
Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel. Coach, how are you? I know part of a coach's job is to motivate and inspire. I know you like motivational speaking. Is there any motivational sayings or anything that you've shared with the team going into this season?
Honestly, I try to think of a lot of those things and what would be a rah-rah. But at the end of the day, for us, it's just going to be do the work. I don't think there's any speeches. There's not going to be anything that's going to try to get guys going. We have to show up every day and do the work. There's no other way to look at it than get in that gym, put in the work, and the results will take care of themselves.
Jamahl, David Steele, Valley Sports. Look forward to working with you this year. What is some good advice that you've received from your colleagues, your friends, other head coaches as you approach training camp, getting a team up and running? What's some good advice that you've gotten from your fellow head coaches?
The biggest thing is just don't skip steps and keep it simple. I think a lot of times as coaches we'll try to get ahead of ourselves to think about game 72 when you haven't played game 1. And I think building a foundation starts with, the fundamentals and just doing the simple. Dominate the simple things, the fundamentals of the game, and don't get ahead of yourself. That's been the biggest thing.
Coach,
Josh Robbins with The Athletic. We're still learning about you, but we're going to ask you to think ahead to how you'll approach the early parts of the regular season. Would you ever have any qualms about starting a rookie or maybe even two rookies on opening night if you feel like they are the best players at those specific positions?
Josh, that's a good question. I think and I said it before, I think it's a little early to tell like which way we're going to go with lineups and roster and rotations. We want to get that first part of training camp started just so we can see what the different combinations look like.
Coach Cody Taylor, USA Today, adding two high rookies. What does a successful rookie season look like for them two in your eyes?
Well, Cody, I think each person's different. I think getting acclimated to the NBA season is one, to understand how do you play through an entire NBA season and what that schedule looks like with the travel, with the games, and what are your sleep patterns and all these things about developing and becoming a professional. I think those are very big. I don't go into numbers and what that looks like for them, but I think them understanding what it means to be a professional and what it takes to work every single day, that's part of success for a lot of these young guys, to understand that they come off of playing 32 games and we're walking into an 82-game season.
All right. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
How did he do? Good, right? All right, everyone, we'll get started with Mo. Just do your name and affiliation, and then we'll get started for Mo. First question. Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Thanks, Dante. Mo, I know how much work you put in this offseason. Just how excited are you to get started and with a new coach at the helm under Jamahl Mosley's leadership?
Very excited. I think one of the things that excite me, along with a lot of my teammates, is how hands-on the coaching staff is. Oftentimes you'll see, each and every one of our coaches just hop in the drill to demonstrate, how they want things done, or how they want things, how it should look.
Mo, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. In what ways are you a different player or an improved player now compared to the end of last regular season?
This summer, I prided myself on a couple of things. I wanted to work on my conditioning. I wanted to work on my finishing around the rim. But I think one of the things that come along with just time in the NBA and just playing is my IQ. I'm able to see plays happen before they happen. I'm able to make reads, and I think that's one thing I'm really excited to get out there and show this year.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. It's a long one. You've obviously had some injury issues throughout your career, and I think that's probably hurt you in the offseason. How important was it, or first, did you stay healthy throughout the offseason? How important was it to get a full offseason of work to help you kind of take those next steps?
Very important. People would often mention, he hasn't had a full off season yet, and I never really saw the significance of it because it's like the off season, and it's just like, all right, you're working on your body regardless. But when you can set aside trying to get back, and you're just trying to gain different aspects and different things into your game and your body, your focus is different. And it was a big summer for me, and it feels good. Please do not give the mic to Cole, Anthony. Why'd you do that?
Hey Mo, Cole Anthony here. Quick question. After 3 years with the Magic organization, this is a big fourth year for you. What are you looking forward to this year? What do you expect out of yourself, and what do you look forward to from this team?
Dan, you had a question? I could have sworn you had a question.
Boy, you better answer that question, boy.
That's actually a great question, Cole.
Appreciate
but I'm looking forward to getting out there and playing with the young guys, the young guards that we have. We have a three-headed dragon, with you, Jalen, and RJ, and I'm really excited to get out there and and play with you guys.
I mean, you're a young guy yourself, so you should be able to relate to us.
I'm a little I'm a little older. I'm going into my 4th year. You're going into your 2nd, so you know I'm your vet now. Yeah.
Appreciate that, Mo.
No problem. Crazy.
Mo, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Way back here.
How you doing, Melissa?
How you doing? So my question for you, head coach just mentioned, Coach Mosley just mentioned, you know, he stressed the importance of just getting in the gym and doing the work. Just kind of speak to the significance of that for you, especially now that you've had a full off season, what that means to you personally.
Absolutely. There's a saying that the win is in the work. And it's something that we've all embraced this summer. You know, a lot of guys, they had just the other day, they had to beg Cole and not, they had to tape him down to a chair to not have him go get some extra shots up. And that's just the culture that we're trying to build here. And so far, I think it's something that everyone embodies.
Mo, Eric Wilson, WKII. 3 years ago, you came into this organization as a rookie, and now you're considered a Lolly vet, if you will. So what's your message been to the team since this is a new, young, hungry team?
Yeah, I try to do my part. I try to not play Joe Macho team captain role because I'm not quite there yet. But I try to give knowledge as much as possible in things that I used to struggle with. It's actually funny because I did a skit on a TV show, and Jalen Suggs was a guest, and this is before the draft, and he was asking me a bunch of different things about the league, and I told him my rookie year I really struggled with routine, and the quickest, the fastest you can find your routine, the better it'll serve you, because everyone's routine is different, but getting into the habits that translate all season long is big.
Hey Mo, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. Remember your days in Texas. You're now the 4th-year guy. You're considered the veteran. This team has a completely fresh face on it, and you're younger.
Yeah.
What's your optimism about this season, and how refreshing is it that you have a fresh start?
It's very refreshing, But one of the things I'm looking most forward to is as a team is, yes, we're young, and I think we'll play a lot faster than we have in the past. And just having guys that can just get out and push and transition, in positions 1 through 5, I'm really looking forward to it.
Last one from Josh Robbins.
Yeah. Mo, what makes Jamahl Mosley unique?
As I previously mentioned, his ability to one, connect with players, which is very underrated at this level. In college, coaches are recruiting and they're talking to you a lot more. Here it's a little bit more business transactional. But his ability to connect with players and just understand who you are and what you want is great. And just how hands-on he is, as I mentioned earlier. He's very much on the court. He's playing defense. He's trying to go at you. He's trying to get you better, and he's taking pride in everyone's process of getting better.
Thank you, Mo.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, guys.
I'll see you guys.
Next up, Cole Anthony. Good to see you, man.
See you, sir. How you doing?
Good, man. Good. All right, we'll start with your name and affiliation, and I think our first question obviously is going to go to Mo Bamba.
Hi, Mo Bamba of the Orlando Magic team. Cole, what is that hairdo called?
It's called the Get Off Me.
Nice. Enjoy Media Day.
Appreciate that. Thanks. Next up, Dan Savage.
I'm not quite sure how to follow that up, Cole. But we've seen so many faces around the team, both with off the court bonding and on the practice court. Just how unique is that, and how excited are you about getting to work with this team at the start of training camp?
I'm super excited, man. This is kind of the start to something new with the Orlando Magic organization, and I'm super just happy to be a part of it. And I think that we had a chance to really build something, and We're young, and I'm super, super excited to be able to just start this training camp up and really get into the heart of the season.
Cole, Joe Remit, WDBO News. Obviously, you've been putting a lot of work in the offseason from social media posts and all that stuff. What are some goals that you've set for yourself this upcoming season?
I have a bunch of individual goals, but those really don't. There's no way those are going to come true unless the team functions first. So the team goal I have set for the season is for us to make the playoffs. And so we set those. If we can reach that goal, I think my individual goals will all come with that.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. Obviously, the rookie season for you and your rookie class was a little bit odd, but as you got a chance to kind of reflect back on last season, what were the big things that you learned about playing in the NBA and about being at this level that you took into this offseason?
I'd say I heard most mention this a little bit was, really getting into that routine. And this whole summer I set a routine for myself, and that was just being consistent, being able just trying to get in the gym every day, trying to watch film every day. And that's something that end of the season, I was in the gym here last night at 12 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just, it's being consistent, making sure I stick to that routine, and just making sure I stay on point with everything.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Sorry. Most second-year guards aren't considered veterans, but it's a very young roster. Do you consider yourself a veteran leader?
Oh, I am for sure a vet. I think halfway through the season after I got hurt and came back, I think I was a vet at that point. So I definitely consider myself a vet at this point. I'm one of the older guys on the team. Not really, but I feel like that. And so, I'm not a rookie anymore. It's not the same.
Cole, Eric Wilson, WKII. So my question is, you spoke about the playoffs, I guess, is as a second-year vet, how do you get this team to the postseason? Because, Orlando is a young team, new coach, bunch of new guys, especially you coming in. What's it going to take?
It's not going to be easy. And, in this league, nothing's easy. Nothing is ever handed to you. You got to work for everything in this league. And so it's going to take a lot of hard work. We're going to have to really stick together. I think the biggest thing for us is going to be staying healthy. I think if we can all stay healthy, that will increase our chances. But I really think that, the closer this team is, the better we'll perform on the court.
Cole, Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. Drafting Jalen Suggs was, a big thing for this organization. What have you noticed from him playing with him in summer league and then through the offseason, and how comfortable are you as a lead guard and Jalen as a lead guard sharing the floor with him?
It wouldn't be the first time in this league you've seen two lead guards kind of share the ball. You have Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, you got Dame, CJ. You have this league is kind of the best teams kind of have those two lead guards. It's never one guard. It's kind of hard for one guard to carry all that weight. So I'm super excited to get to play with Jalen, and even just these past couple of weeks we've been running up and down. We've been scrimmaging, and just when we've been on the same team, we've kind of had a really good connection. And just we kind of just have a knack for finding each other, and we're both going to defend. I'm going to defend this year way better than last year. So I think it's going to be very successful.
Cole Anthony, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. Good morning. You, Fultz, Hampton, Suggs, different dynamic of guard play. Can you explain to me the speed in which teams have to get prepared for you? And what do you like about your new coach and his vision?
Well, Mo's, he's young. I believe Mo's 42 years old. I don't want to put that age on him. That might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure I'm correct. But he's a younger coach. He's new to this, kind of like how all of us young guys we're kind of new to the league. So I think we can all relate in that aspect. And I think we got a chance to be really good, man. We all have a similar vision. I've talked with whether it's RJ, Cal, Jalen, Mose, any of the coaches. We've all talked. We've done a lot of talking. We haven't really had much else to do besides that and be in the gym and here working. So we all have a similar vision, and I think that we all stick to the game plan. I think we're going to be successful.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily again. We saw you guys post. Saw you and a bunch of your teammates post on social media about the trip to Charleston. Huh?
You could call it the Chuck.
The Chuck.
There you go.
We saw you guys all end up in the Chuck. How did that trip come about? Who organized, and how important was that kind of furthering the bonds that you guys have together?
I think it was J.I.'s idea, actually. So kudos to J.I. for helping us get that together. It was kind of a last-minute thing, so that's how we ended up in the Chuck. If it was up to me, I would have been in like Hawaii or something, but you know how that go. But I think it doesn't honestly matter where we was at. It was just kind of getting everyone together in one place, and just whether it was we did a bunch of stuff off the court, on the court. It was just we was really just there to bond and really get to know each other. So I think we all walked away from that trip, just knowing that man next to you a little better than we did before we got there.
Cole, Joe Remmett, WDBO again. I heard through the grapevine that you and Terrence Ross had a half-court shooting challenge. When can we expect another challenge?
When Terrence gets his money up, he could probably come see me soon. No. Soon. I mean, I'm always down to, whenever someone mentions a bet, I'm always down for that. I'm a man with supreme confidence, so I'm always ready for a bet.
Okay, Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. So, question for you, in terms of going from last season into this season and the COVID procedures that you guys had to deal with last season versus what you get to deal with now, kind of talk about that difference for you. Do you look forward to being able to have the fans back, more of the fans back, that kind of thing? Talk about that.
Yeah, no, I really look forward to potentially getting more fans back in the arena, and more than anything else, I look forward to not having to get COVID tested 2 times a day. That wasn't very fun. I did not enjoy that experience.
Cole, Chris Cuff from 24 Flicks. Just quick question. I'm curious about your thoughts about J.I.'s comments about vaccination.
Look, I mean, J.I. is a grown man, and anyone man who's willing to stick to his convictions that strongly, I mean, I gotta support him. I mean, look, do I really agree with what he has to say? I mean, I might not agree with it. I might agree with it, but look, he's a grown man. I'm a grown man. He's gonna do what's best for him. I'm gonna do what's best for me. And at the end of the day, we're teammates. So I'm gonna support him through thick and thin.
Cole, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. How are you a different player now compared to the end of last season?
I think I'm a way, way better player than last year. I mean, I just really have been grinding this whole entire summer, like every single day. Like every single day. I took minimal days off and just, I've been studying film nonstop, been working on my jump shot, just working on literally every single aspect of my game, however I could work on it. And so I think you'll see me making a very big jump this year. And me personally, I think it's going to be a very, very good season.
Thank you, Cole.
Sir.
Good work. Thank you. All right, we'll get started here with Iggy Brazdekis. We'll start with you. Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Iggy, after going through summer league with this team, spending a bit of last season with them, just how unique is the bond amongst this group, and how excited are you to get things started with training camp?
The bond is great. I feel like summer league definitely helped with that. We definitely developed, as a team during that time. Coach Mose was coaching, so just getting to know him a little bit more and understanding what he wants to bring to the team was great. And I feel like we all have a great bond. We're close, and I'm just excited for the season.
Iggy, Eric Wilson, WKII. First off, can you please tell me how to properly pronounce your last name?
Brazdekis.
Thank you. So with that being said, kind of piggybacking off of the last question, what aspects of your game do you feel are going to be extremely beneficial to this young team in proving to be a force in the Eastern Conference?
I'm just going to bring a lot of energy each and every single day, and also my competitive nature. I love to compete. That's what I do. So just want to bring that to the team, elevate and try to push each other each and every single day, and try to push my teammates as well as myself, and just build a culture of hard work and growing each and every single day.
Mr. Brazdekis, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. At the forward position, some of the top players you're going to be facing on a day-to-day basis. What memo or warning do you have to the forwards in the position that have the name but haven't met you yet?
I'm just going to be
I'm gonna be a dog every night. You know, I'll be ready to go, and I'm just gonna play as hard as I can. No fear, and just go in there and do my thing, and you know, just help the team win games.
Joe Remmett, WDBO News. Obviously, Franz Wagner is a rookie, but he was from your alma mater of Michigan. Did you guys have any prior conversations before the draft about if he liked Orlando or if he was excited to be in Orlando? Obviously, the Michigan connection, you guys probably close.
No, we didn't really get a chance to talk too much. You know, he was definitely busy, you know, with everything that's going on. But I'm very happy that he's here, you know, along with Mo. John Teskey's here as well. It's great seeing this many Michigan players here. You know, it makes it feel like home.
Iggy, Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. You're obviously still early in your career. You've had a couple stops. What can stability, being here, Lakeland, the two-way, what can it mean to you, and how important is it to carve out a permanent home in the NBA?
I feel like it's, you know, I have a great opportunity being here, you know, young team, new coaching staff. You know, I'm just grateful for the position that I'm in. My path in the NBA so far hasn't been, you know, the easiest, but I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm ready for it, and yeah, I'm just excited to go.
Iggy, this is Melissa Thomas of Florida National News. You mentioned your competitive nature and your drive. Is there a specific skill set that you want to develop more, something that you feel that you probably need to develop more this season?
Just want to, you know, play the right way, you know, every single time down the court, you know, both offensively and defensively, just making the right reads. You know, the game's a lot faster at this level, so just continuing to, you know, grow in that.
Thanks, Iggy. Appreciate it. Good job.
Yeah.
started with Wendell Carter. If you got a question, go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get your name and affiliation.
Wendell, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. In what ways are you an improved player or a different player now compared to the end of last season?
One thing that I would probably say, kind of outside of, actually skill, is just my confidence. I feel like the coaching staff here has definitely made it like very evident that they need me to be more aggressive on the offensive end. I feel like I put in a good amount of work to become a better shooter, a better decision maker, and those are the two things that they wanted me to become better at. And also on the defensive side, they want me to be able to guard these stretch fours and fives. So that's something I definitely improved on this year.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. You spent a lot of time with this group this offseason. Just how unique is the bond amongst this group, and how excited are you to get things started with training camp?
I feel like our bond is really good. I feel like especially with us all being young and hungry and just open to anything. I feel like we all have one goal in mind, and I feel like that's just to win. And I feel like winning as a group, kind of takes care of everything else. Just going out there, playing as hard as you can, sticking to the script, and just letting the results speak for themselves. And I feel like just this summer alone, I feel like we made a lot of progression, even on the court. Just learning each other's tendencies, what we like to do off the ball, on the ball, defensive-wise. And I feel like we definitely got a lot of potential as a team.
Wendell Carter Jr., Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. Chicago might have drafted you, but after the trade, Orlando embraced you and saw your skill set. You're unique at the 4-5 position because of your size and durability. How does your game adjust to an Eastern Conference team that has been lacking at the center position?
I feel like I can bring a lot to this team. But at the same time, like you said, they believed in me. Not just the coaching staff, but my teammates. And my teammates understand that, I'm a guy who wants to win. I'm not a guy who cares about the amount of points I score or anything like that. Like, my teammates understood, from day one, when I first got traded here, the first game, like, we're trying to win. Whatever we had to do, to get the best shot each time down the court, that's what I want to do. And I feel like that's really the purpose of playing, is just to win. Winning takes care of everything else. So, that's really about it.
Wendell, Joe Remit, WDBO News. Obviously, the trade happened last season, and when you first got here, you started playing really good basketball for the Magic. Do you hope to keep that momentum going into the start of this season as well?
Absolutely. I definitely want to come in going into the next season, with that same kind of fire that I had. And at the end of the day, like I said, I just want to help this team win. I feel like once we win, once we start, getting the city behind us, I feel like, that just opens up a lot more opportunity for the whole team. And like I said, it's just going to take care of everything else that needs to be taken care of.
Wendell, Eric Wilson, WKII. This team, over the past couple of seasons, has got into the postseason at the number 8 or number 7 spot.
Mm-hmm.
What do you intend to do to make sure that the Orlando Magic stay in the playoff contention?
My biggest thing is, right now, my whole focus is taking it day by day. Tomorrow we got training camp, so my biggest thing is tackling training camp, going as hard as I can for my team, making sure, I'm being a motivator for my team, and then, start the season. We just trying to win that first game, and then we just gonna take it game by game.
Wendell, Nick Grunowitz with WDBO Radio. You're not going to play for Jamahl Mosley. This is your 4th coach, and you're headed into your 4th season. Right? 'Cause you got Fred, Billy Donovan last season, and now new coach this year.
I think it might be 6, right?
Is it 6?
Because I had No, it's 5. You're right.
5. Okay.
Yeah, it's 5.
All right,
You're right.
5.
I'm sure. My fault.
Just
My fault.
regardless of that,
Yeah.
talk to me a little about the challenges of just not having that stability from a head coaching standpoint, and kind of figuring out how you fit and where you fit inside of a team.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I am human at the end of the day. Stability is definitely something that we all want. That's what we all shoot for as humans. But at the same time, I also understand it's a business, and I understand that my job is to help the franchise, whatever franchise I'm playing for, just be better. Just bring value to that team, and just showcase what I can do for that team to help that team win. I feel like that's the biggest thing. But it's definitely tough. It's been tough for sure, but it's a business. I just got to move on from it and just help my team. That's it.
Wendell, Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. I know you're all about team, and you said training camp's on your mind right now, but you are entering the last year of your rookie contract. Is there any interest in negotiating an extension with the Orlando Magic, and how much is your long-term future in the NBA on your mind right now?
I'm kind of letting my agency in the front office kind of deal with that right now. That can take me off of what's the most important thing, which is tomorrow, which is training camp. So that's really where my main focus is. I would love to be here for a long time. I love Orlando. I love the city. I love my teammates. I love the people here, the weather, everything. So I would love to be here, but right now I'm just focused on training camp. That's really about it.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Wendell, from watching Summer League and from getting 5-on-5 runs, how excited are you to add Franz and Jalen, and what do you think their capabilities are?
First, starting with Franz, I feel like he's just one of those guys. He's going to come out. He's going to play as hard as he can. When he makes a mistake, he's going to do it at 100%. He's one of those guys, and he's a phenomenal shooter too. That's something he's going to be able to help us stretch the floor a lot. And he's pretty strong for his size. Really good defender, in great shape too. And I feel like he's gonna help us win in a lot of different ways. Just doing the little things on the court. And then with Jalen, he's Mr. Do-It-All. Great defender, great shooter, can drive it, makes the right decisions when he gets into the teeth of the defense. He's a great teammate. He's always uplifting everyone. Whenever we're playing 5-on-5, I kind of, if someone misses a shot, hey, I'm gonna hit you again. I need you to take the next shot. That's something that he always did. So I think he's gonna do a lot of great things for us, and he just has a whole bunch of potential for sure.
Wendell, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. So a little bit earlier, you mentioned the importance of motivating your teammates. Kind of tell us a little bit about that. How do you normally do that? Is it more like in the pep talks? We had talked with Coach Mosley. He had mentioned, he likes using certain motivational quotes. How do you normally go about doing that?
Probably the first thing I like to do is lead by example. Kind of motivate my team. I can't be a person who kind of tells my team, hey, you got to do this, this, and this, and I'm not doing it myself. So that's probably the first thing it is for me. Then secondly, we're all humans, and sometimes, my teammates will get down, including myself. I get down and, just holding each other accountable, just being there for one another. And, when I can sense one of my teammates being down or getting down on themselves or deferring a shot because they missed their last 2 shots, whenever there's a break, I like to go up to them and be like, man, take your next shot, man. Take it like you're going to make it. Make a miss, at least take it like you want to make the shot. You know what I'm saying? So that's one small example, but those are definitely some of the ways I want to help my team and motivate my team for sure.
For Wendell.
Wendell, what makes Jamahl Mosley unique or different?
It's his first time being a head coach, so that's definitely something new. It's something new for him, and with him being in Dallas first, he understands what it takes to win, and just from the first day of us being on court and him actually being able to coach us a little bit, he has a drive about him. He understands that it's not going to be easy. with us being such a young group and him being his first time being a head coach, but he also understands what exactly it takes and what it looks like to win. So, yeah, I really think that's really about it.
Thanks, Wendell.
Yeah.
My favorite folks in the building.
All right. Got a question for Michael Carter Williams? Go ahead and raise your hand and do your name and affiliation. We'll start with Dan.
Mike, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. We got the injury update about you earlier this offseason. Just how are you feeling and how's everything coming along?
What's going on, Dan? Everything good? Injury's going well. Obviously it stinks missing training camp and stuff to get ready for the season, but everything's going well. I'm, ahead of schedule. I'm feeling good. Doing stuff in the pool and doing some light stuff on the treadmill. So everything's going well.
Mr. Williams, good morning. Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. You've been around Milwaukee, Chicago. You've been with this team for a while. You're the defensive prowess. You're the dog on this team. What's your assessment of your teammates and how you think the season's going to go?
We got some great guys in the locker room, to be honest, Dan. I think, I think we got all the right pieces, to be successful. We obviously have a ton of room to grow. We have some guys that really play hard and care about the game. So when you got guys in this league that, just playing hard every single night is a big thing. And we got guys willing to do that. Now it's just my job and some of the older guys and the coach's job to just mold that in a way where everybody can play together and everybody can win. So I'm happy with the guys that we have. I love the toughness that we have. When we're not going to back down from anybody. And win, lose or draw, I think we're going to go out there playing hard.
Michael Eric Wilson, WKII. First off, it is really good to see you up there. Two-part question. First, what's it like with this new head coach? Since Mr. Fleming alluded to it, you've been around the league a little bit. Talk to me about his style of coaching when it comes to your personal play. And then two, now that you are considered a vet on this team, what leadership qualities are you instilling upon the rest of your team?
Coach has been great. He's got this vibe to him where, you want to go out there and you just want to play as hard as you can. He brings that, energy every day in the gym. You can just feel it, it rubs off on, the coaches, the staff. He just picks the energy level up. So he's got that, vibe to him where you just want to go out there and play hard, which is great. He's a great person. You can already tell, he hasn't coached a game for me, but, I can tell what kind of, coach he is and what type of person he is, first and foremost. So I'm excited. And what was your second part of the question? How, can I impact? As a leader on this team, mm-hmm. How are you impacting the team? I think it started with, I was here obviously a whole summer rehabbing, but, even before I, had my surgery, I was here in the gym. And that's something that I really wanted to focus on was, when the new guys come in here, popping in and out, or the young guys came in, just wanted them to see me in there, the whole summer, really working. And, because, obviously our organization changed in a lot of different ways. So we're going to need to establish a tradition or, a culture, I should say, for this team. And, I think that starts a lot with me. So, I was just trying to be in here every day, showing them, kind of what, hard work looks like. Kind of something I wish I had, when I was a rookie, kind of someone to show me, really, okay, I made it to the NBA, but, now what's next? Kind of what level can I get to? And, that's what I'm trying to show. Just show, what hard work is. And when we go into training camp, we can get into X and O's and do this and do that. But, everybody was in here, early, and, everybody was in here a lot during the summer doing their thing. So, that's all I tried to instill, right now.
Michael, Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Earlier, we heard a lot of the guys talking about the bond that this team has. For your experience, especially now that you're in recovery, kind of talk about how excited you are to finally get back on the court, like now that you're kind of in that process, training camp is coming up, and factoring in that bond with the rest of the team.
Yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be it's super exciting to see us grow as a team. We're really young, we're super young and talented. We got great pieces on this team, so it's going to be cool to see us grow, see where we can get to. We got guys coming back from injury that have been out for a long time. Myself, Markelle, Ji, myself. Like as soon as we get everybody back, I think it's going to be I'm not going to say we're going to be a super special team, but I think it's going to be something special in our organization because we've had some injuries. So I can't wait for everybody to be back on the floor, get together, and us really kind of show what we can do.
Michael, Chris Cuff from 24 Flick Sports. That's a lovely answer you gave to Alex about the team and the roster and stuff, but inside the locker room, like, what's the camaraderie with the guys? I know we're just getting started, and I know you're the guy that, practical joke here and there. So, I mean, really, with the guys, you guys having a lot of fun, or what's it like with the fellas?
No, yeah, we're having a lot of fun. We're always joking. We hang out with each other outside the court, the locker room. Of course, we got a bunch of 22-year-olds on the team. The locker room is going to be full of immature conversations, jokes, all the whole nine. So, I don't know. I come in the locker room and I'm like, man, this is day 8 of the same conversation of this, and we got to change it up a little bit now. But no, it's been fun. It's been jokes. It's been good times in the summer. We get our work in. We hang out. We joke around. But like I said, I'm excited for the year to start and for us to get going.
Michael, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. You've been through from the bottom up rebuild before. What are some of the things this franchise and your teammates need to try to avoid to get things going in the proper direction?
I think we need to avoid looking at, goals so far down the line. Kind of obviously, we all want to win. We all want to, make the playoffs and do this and do that and all that good stuff. But I think if we scale back on and focus on day-to-day goals or week goals, I think that will make us better. I think we got a bunch of competitive guys that are going to compete every night, but like I said, what's our identity going to be on the floor? How are we going to be defensively? How are we going to move the ball offensively? How are we going to compete every day in practice? So it's just got to be one day at a time and not look too far, in the future, and really focus on those goals, day to day.
Michael, you were close with the prior coaching staff. What was that like for you to see Steve Clifford leave?
Obviously it was hard, seeing, Coach Cliff leave and, the rest of the staff. I was close with a lot of guys, but, it's part of the game. I've seen, best friends come and go. I've left teams and teammates and coaches that, I, enjoyed playing with, and, it's all part of the game. Obviously, I still have relationships with, all of them, Coach Cliff, Hetzel, PD, so, I talk to them, all the time, and, it is tough. It is tough, but, this game goes quick, man. Guys are in and out, coaches are in and out, so, you just learn to kind of live with it and move on, and, there's great people. Luckily, we got a great crew, that's here already, so, you kind of got to focus on the task in hand.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Mike, as you get older, NBA player or no, stuff starts hurting, stuff gets sore, you get hurt. You play at one speed no matter what, but as you become more of a veteran, is there any way to alter that? Is there any way to change the speed with which you play the game, or is it breakneck speed no matter what?
Yeah, I just, obviously, I try to, obviously I don't want to get, injured, don't want to be hurt, but I've tried that. I've tried to, all right, maybe I just got to scale back a little bit, but, it's just a battery pack. This is how I'm wired, man. It's just, there's no, when I'm out there, I've got, my parents, family, friends. Hey, maybe you shouldn't be doing this and that. I just can't. It's just how I play, how I'll always play. Injury is something I've had to deal with. Hopefully, I can be more healthy. I felt great, obviously, besides my foot, but it's just something that I'm always going to bring that same energy, the same old me.
Related question. Your brother Marcus, I just wanted to ask how much contact you've had with him, how excited he is, and how excited you are for the opportunity he has.
Yeah, I'm excited for him, man. I was real happy. He got drafted. We talk every day. It's his journey is going to be a little bit different. I think he'll spend some time in the G League, but man, he works so hard. He's in the gym every day. They gotta, they tell him to leave the gym every day. It's just who he's been since he was younger, and I really believe he's going to be doing great things in this league, and he's just he's just going to take a different road. But I'm happy for him. He's really talented, and he'll get his time to show what he can do.
All right, last one from Josh.
Michael, we're, I think, about a year and several months removed from the bubble and all the talk about social justice and the conversations everyone had. Do you worry, or to what extent do you worry that the momentum that was built there has maybe waned and that there aren't as many conversations and dialogue as there was back then?
Yeah, I think so. Obviously, time goes on and different conversations come up and different events, but you can only kind of speak for yourself. I'm really I still push the movement in the right way. I still push for police and inner cities to come together more and figure things out. And I went to a seminar with Coach Cliff, and this guy, he was talking to us about, how he went to the police academy, and, he asked them the goals for, what are your goals with the inner city? How would you like to interact with, the inner city more, and black people, black and brown people, just in general. And, it was kind of funny because the same questions he asked us were the same questions he asked the police, and they were the same answers. So I think that, the goals are all the same. We just need to, do more things to, kind of get on the same page and kind of understand each other. Because there's a lot of, there's majority of police officers are great people. You might have a few bad apples here and there. But, majority want, the safety of, everybody in the, in the U.S. And, and a lot of people, kind of, misinterpret that and misconstrued that with, events that do go on. But I think it's important to know that, I think the goal here should be to mold human beings and, in general. Every time a police officer goes into an inner city, it shouldn't just be for a bad thing that's going on. If I see someone that's, if I see someone only when a bad altercation is going on, then how am I going to view that person? Obviously it's not going to be in a good way. So there should be, police officers in the inner city that, you and I should see and be like, oh, that's Joe, or that's him. I shouldn't only know them by their uniforms, you know what I mean? And I think that's a big thing, when you're able to trust somebody beyond, what they're wearing or what they look like on both sides. I think that's important. More times police interact with black people, I think they'll start to trust black people more, right? Like, I think half the battle is, it's fear reaction, right? Like, you don't necessarily got to be, a racist to, kill a black person or shoot a black person. I think a lot of it happens to be is fear, is, you want to go home to your wife and kids, which is very understandable, but it's also, unfortunate to, someone else who has a mother and father. So I think the biggest thing is trust, and to X out that fear factor and to engage more people, with police officers, so they don't just know the uniform and the badge, and, vice versa.
We got one more.
Quick question.
What's up, bro?
How does it feel to be top 5 headlines and hairdos?
Come on, man. I'm
the
out of
team?
here, man. I'm done, man.
Thanks, Michael.
Oh, it's been a minute.
See you, Markelle. We'll get started. You just start with your name and affiliation.
Markelle Fultz, Orlando Magic. Nah, I'm playing.
Markelle, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Good to see you.
Absolutely.
And first off, just tell us how you're feeling. How's the recovery going as this team gets set for training camp?
I'll start with the team first. I'm super, super excited to just be a part of this team, have an opportunity to grow with this team, and see all the young guys and also the few vets that we have, the opportunity that we have this season. And myself, I'm blessed. I'm blessed to see another day. As far as rehab, I'm doing amazing. Haven't had any setbacks, but just really attacking each day, one day at a time, and I'm feeling really good.
Markelle, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. Is the plan for you to be able to play and cleared to play on opening night of the regular season?
We haven't really talked too much as far as timeline as far as return. Like I said, I've been just coming in every day, just taking it one day at a time, and really just trying to get the best out of that day. And I think the blessing about it is I haven't had any setbacks in this whole rehab process. So I'm feeling really, really good. I've been on court, moving around, getting through that. So just really listening to my body and having an understanding of, sometimes I won't feel good, sometimes I will, but we've been making a lot of good progress and just really trying to take it one day at a time. And when that day comes where I feel great and they do all the testing that we need to do for me to get back on court, that'll be the time that we'll go out there.
Jeff Weltman mentioned that you've improved over these last 9 months on the court. In what ways are you have you improved, and are you different as a basketball player since everyone saw you last?
Yes. I think all around, I think what this injury has done is given me an opportunity to work on all the other things that, I wouldn't have had time to work on being if I was playing. So I took in this opportunity just to get my upper body right, my core, both legs, and work on everything, mechanics of my shot, condition. So I feel like this injury has been a blessing, just being having the opportunity to have so much time to just work and have those times to recover too as well. So coming back into it, I feel like everything has grown and gotten better, and I still have time to continue to work. So again, just trying to attack each day and just get a little bit better every day. So.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Markelle, great to see you. Last year, obviously, was with the injury and then all the trades at the deadline. There's a lot of change. You've already been through a lot in your young NBA career, but was there anything that kind of over that 4 or 5 months you learned? Anything, any lessons?
Just to live in the now. I feel like a lot of people get caught up in looking too far ahead or what has happened to them, and I really understood that, one thing, everything happens for a reason, and the second is to enjoy the now. It's been a true blessing. Some people know, some people don't, but I have a son that was born right before the bubble. So with my injury, I also had a lot of time to spend time with him and watch him grow. And the one thing that has taught me is, I have my time at rehab, and then I go home and I have to be a father. And it's just really enjoying that moment of what you're in and giving it your all. And that's the one thing that I've realized, and just working through the mistakes and also just learning curves. Everything's going to be new for everybody. We got a new set of guys, we got a new coaching staff, so everything is unknown right now, and that's what makes it fun at the same time, being able to come in and just work and not know what's going to happen. So it's been good.
Markelle, Joe Remmett, WDBO News. Obviously, big draft picks, big rookies coming in with Jalen Suggs and Franz Wagner. Are you excited to play with them when you get back on the court?
Yeah.
And have you given them any advice, being that you were once a number 1 overall pick as well?
Yes, I'm super excited. One, just for the opportunity they have, and all of us have as a team, but very talented guys and very versatile. I can't wait to get out there on the court with everybody, not just those 2 guys, but just to be back on the court with this team and have a chance to grow and get better. It's truly, truly a blessing. But those guys, I just try to be there for them. I've been young, being drafted, and just trying to give them all the knowledge that I know, not only on the court but off the court, just to help not only themselves but us as a team just grow and get better. And as the season goes on, I'm going to be that vocal leader. Also try to lead by what I do on and off the court. And they're great guys, so they're very smart, but just giving them little keys that can help them move forward, and we're going to grow together.
Markelle, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you.
I got questions. One, have you and J.I. spoke and bonded during the offseason?
Yes.
2, you didn't get a chance to play with R.J. Hampton and now that you have Suggs,
Yes.
the guard room is crazy.
Yes.
And 3, how sweet is it going to be when you catch up on some of these teams that are sleeping on you?
All right, I'm gonna start with your last question first. I've been so excited with just this team. I think that we have a super talented team. The chemistry is there, and I think we're gonna shock a lot of people. I think a lot of people don't have us doing anything or whatever you want to say, and we're not really worried about that. We're worried about ourselves and getting better. But I think that we're gonna shock a lot more people. It's gonna be fun to watch. I'll tell you that. And then, like you said, playing with RJ, a very talented player. Speak very highly of him, and I think that's another blessing that we have and a positive that we can have different lineups that you can throw out there. You're going to see different combinations, I'm pretty sure, and you're going to have a chance to see just great interchangeable basketball. We're all basketball players. We all have something different that we can bring to the table, and we're all on the same page. You want to go out there and win. So I think that's something that's going to be very fun to watch. And then going into your last question about J.I., we spend a lot of time grinding in here together. We're almost in here every day, getting it in, rehabbing. So we're always talking, and this is the things that we talk about, just seeing the changes that we've made and the changes that's happened to this team, and also going through ACL injury, picking its mind with that. But we're so excited to just get out there and play with this team. I feel like it's going to be very fun, and we're going to shock a lot of people.
Markelle, Eric Wilson, WKII. First off, as always, as everybody's alluded to, it's great to see you.
Yes, sir.
So you're a leader amongst men. My question is, at the guard play position, some might say there might be too many mouths to feed. So are you going to be more of a floor general and a facilitator, or are you going to be the guy who calls your number?
I'm doing whatever I have to do to win. If that's sitting on the bench clapping, if that's getting my teammate a water, if that's me tying somebody's shoe, it doesn't matter what I have to do. I'm just trying to go out there and compete. It's not about myself. It's about the team. And I think all of us have that same mindset. So, again, I think that's the best thing about it. All these people are talking about point guards, this, that, and the third, but all we care about is winning and having fun and growing and learning. So when it comes to that, I think it's all about just the growth and having fun, but also come in with a mindset to get better and push each other. And I think that's all we're going to do this whole season. And wherever, whoever's out there on the floor, that's what we're rooting for. So I think that keeps it simple for all of us, and that's our mindset. So.
Philip Rossman, Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. Obviously, I know you're saying you're focused on the now. You're not so much looking back at the past, and obviously it was only 8 games. But where did you feel you were at, with the injury? It felt like you were really starting to come out of your shell and be a true leader on the team.
Yeah, I was just starting to get a little bit groovy, just a little bit. Again, I work extremely hard just to go out there and compete, not only for myself, but for the city, the fans, my coaching staff, and that's all I try to go out there and do. I just try to go out there and compete, and that's what you see out of me. And I think that I have a good understanding of, what I have to do to help my team win, and I just try to focus on those things. So, again, it goes back to I feel very, very good, especially right now, having time to tune up a lot of things that I wouldn't have had time to do, if I was playing every day. So this opportunity that I have right now, coming back into it, I feel better than ever. So.
All right, last one for Markelle.
Yeah, Markelle, Nick Grunowitz, WDBO News. Obviously, you spent a lot of time on the sidelines with the injury, watching the game. What have you been able to take away or learn, I guess, by just watching the game from the sidelines that may help you when you get back out on the floor?
So much. It's a lot of stuff that I've not only learned, not just in this season, but every time I sit out, I've learned something new. It's almost like being a coach. You start to see the stuff that you don't see on the court, and then you realize you're like, wow. Going into timeouts, I'm trying to talk to my teammates and just let them know, like, you look like this on this play, you look like this, but also seeing where the defense is, being able to watch film and understand a better understanding of my teammates and where they like and where they are best at, what type of pass they like. They like bounce pass. And I'm doing all that while I'm on the sideline. And it's really helped me get an understanding for these guys, which is not only going to help myself, but help them grow. So
thanks, Markelle.
Thank you so much. Good to see you guys.
All right, we'll get started with RJ. When you have a question, just say your name and affiliation. Mr. Dan Savage.
Thanks, Dante. RJ, you got to spend some time with Coach during Summer League and some of the other guys. Just how unique is the bond that this team is building, and how excited are you to get training camp tipped off and underway?
I'm really excited. I think, starting this new season with a lot of new faces, a whole new coaching staff, I think it's great for us as a young team to try to find our identity, try to build something special. This summer training off season has been great for us. We went on a trip together, so the camaraderie's getting there. I think it's almost there, and I'm just ready to kick it off.
RJ, Cody Taylor, USA Today. I spoke with Mike Miller earlier this summer. He said you guys would link up at some point. First, did you have a chance to meet up with him? And just overall, what has he done for your game over the past few years when you've been training with him?
Yeah, I seen Mike this summer. We always link up. He's a great mentor for me. So I think the biggest thing he's done for my game is he's really helped me off the court, helped me, slow the game down and slow the NBA life down, off the court, and focus on basketball and, lock in. So he's a great mentor for that. One of the great NBA vets. So I really appreciate him taking the time out with me, whenever I need him.
RJ, Eric Wilson, WKII. Appreciate your time. Just wanted to ask you, this team is young, but a lot of energy and a lot of heart. What's going to be a driving factor as far as the Orlando Magic remaining in playoff contention?
I think, as far as us in playoff contention, we got to come out and play hard every night, and I think we have a group of guys that can do that. I'm super confident in the group that we have. The young guys that we have want to come out and compete every single day and play for each other. So the sky's the limit for the group if we can do that.
RJ, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Michael Carter Williams earlier was saying, given the young roster and how things are in the locker room, there's a lot of joking, a lot of pranking. Kind of talk a little bit about that rapport that you guys have in the locker room.
Yes, Mike is probably the biggest kid I've ever met in my entire life. Him and T. Ross for sure. So they usually start the jokes and the pranks, and I'm 20 and they're like 45. So I go back along with them. But it's a good atmosphere in the locker room. We all have fun, we all joke around, but in all seriousness, when we're on the court, I think we're just out there competing and trying to win basketball games.
Mr. Hampton, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun. Everyone has a role on the team, obviously. What's your role on this team?
That's a good question. I think my role on this team is, whatever the team needs. I'm a guy that can, I feel if you need me to get rebounds, if you need me to get assists, you need me to get points, I feel I can do that. But I think my biggest role I want to step into is leadership and being a great teammate. We have a lot of good guys on this roster that can, play multiple positions at any time, at any point in the game. So for me to be a leader, coming into my second year and being the best teammate I can be, I would say that's my biggest role on this team.
RJ, Chris Cuff from 24 Flick Sports. Talk about Coach Jamahl. Everyone that we've heard from the team seems to be ready to go to war for this man. Why is that? Talk about him.
Yeah, I think the reason everybody on the team is ready to go to war for Coach Moe is because he brings that energy every single day. He wants us to, be a good team, a great team. He's excited. He's pumped up. He's encouraging us. So I know who wouldn't want to play for a man like that. So I think even just the whole coaching staff, though, in general, the energy and excitement that they have to kick off this season is something that I've personally haven't been around. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to battle with those guys.
RJ, Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. When you look back personally over the last 18 months, you played overseas. At this time last year, you were preparing for the draft. You were traded in your rookie year, and now you're going through a new coaching staff in your second year. What can you learn about all of these things, applying them to this year in your career moving forward?
I would just say keep the main thing, and that's focus on winning basketball games and focus on, being a good teammate. It's been a crazy last 18 months, like you said, but this is a fresh start to a new season. A lot of new faces and some familiar faces. So I'm just locked in and excited, honestly.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. We've heard a lot of the guys talk about how tight and together this team is. You mentioned the trip to Charleston, or as Cole called it, the Chuck. How important was that trip? How did that get organized, and what did you guys learn about each other from working out together like that?
Yes, that trip was great for us. Jay had brought it to our attention, asked if we were all down to go, and of course we all said yes, and it was really fun. I think it wasn't more about the basketball, but just about hanging out and learning about each other. I think every day we learn more about the person next to us, and coming back and having to start training camp tomorrow. That trip, looking back on it, really helped us a lot this summer because I think we're all really close.
RJ, Joe Remmett, WDBO News. You're one of the taller guards on the team, standing at about 6'6" now. Would you welcome the idea of maybe playing the 3 a little bit this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think I'd play the 5 if I needed to. But in all seriousness, whatever the team needs me to do, I'm gonna be there. I think I heard Markelle say he ties someone's shoes. I'm the same way. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm out on the court going to battle with my teammates.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. RJ, I think probably part of the NBA dream is to be in front of 20,000 screaming fans in a really big game, and that's something that you guys sort of got stripped from you last year. How excited are you for that?
I'm super excited to get fans back in the arena. That was something I definitely missed, watching, the NBA as a kid. You see all those fans, the arena's packed out, and then coming in my rookie year and there was no fans was definitely super weird, but it was needed to get the fans back in the arenas now. So I'm super excited about that, and just can't wait for it.
RJ, Nick Grunowitz, WDBO News. You've been through one season in the NBA. What was the biggest challenge, I guess, from your rookie year that you're now more prepared for going into year 2?
That's a hard question. I don't know. I think my most challenging thing I had to go through my rookie year was probably getting COVID and having to come and playing Orlando like 30 minutes. Like 28 to 30 minutes a night after COVID, because it was like so quick. I caught COVID, and then like 2 days later I was traded, and then I had to step on the floor and play as soon as I got off protocols. But I think I'm good now, so I'm just ready to play.
Good to hear.
Thanks, RJ. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
How are you? I think you know the drill. You got a question for Gary? Raise your hand, and we'll get your name and affiliation. We'll start with Dan Savage.
Savage. I like that last name.
Thank you. Thanks, Gary.
You a Savage?
Oh, I come from a long line of savages. But to get things started, you're one of the guys who've actually been through, a series of training camps. Just excited. How are you to get things started with this young group and get things underway?
I'm very excited. Just to start this training camp here, with Orlando. The energy, this past month with guys working out, being in the gym, it's been great. Coach Mose brings a certain energy every time he steps on the floors in the building, and it's a great environment. And guys, he's pushing guys, and it's a fun environment to get better in. And we about to hit the ground rolling tomorrow. It's gonna be tough. 2-a-days, and 2-a-days aren't fun, but it's necessary. And I think it's going to be fun, continue to learn and, get our play style down and, build this chemistry as we, get ready for the, first preseason game just coming up here, less than 7 days around that. And just preparing ourselves for the regular season. And I know a lot of people are saying this is a young team, but this is going to be a fun team just because the energy, the guys like each other. Coming to work each day is fun, and I think we're going to push each other, and I think it's going to be a fun year, and we're looking forward to getting after it.
Gary, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. You just turned 27. In the real world, that's young, but on this team, it's old.
Yeah, it is. It's old on this team, for sure.
What is your role, and how do you go about being a wily veteran on this team?
I'm just trying to, bring my experience each and every day. I remember when I was, one of these young guys, and it goes fast. I'm sitting up here at 27 years old. I mean, I feel old, but I mean, in retrospect, I'm pretty young. So just to be able to come in, to work, to push these guys, to help these guys, because I remember when I was young, trying to establish myself in the league, young, trying to figure it out, and it's a lot that comes with it, especially when it's a new life. This is the real world, as I call it, and this is a very prestigious job that you have to take, take full advantage of, and just being able to help these guys and make their, as they adjust and get used to, playing in this league and winning in this league and trying to figure out how to win. That's the hardest thing in this league, is figuring out how to win, and coming in each and every day, doing the right steps, listening to our coaches, pushing each other, and figuring out how to win is going to be very fun. It's very hard, but it's going to be very fun in this league. And looking forward to helping out these guys every step of the way, doing whatever I can to, whether help out young guys, give advice, or, getting out there, showing them how to, do certain things. And, I'm looking forward to embracing this role and helping this team win as many games as possible. And that's the goal.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Sorry. Gary, you sort of famously had a role in the turnaround in Denver. When you've got a young group, like everything's good right now, right? How do you make that turnaround happen? Is it harder when you've lost 4 or 5 games in a row, or is it actually kind of the reverse where you got to get used to success and continuing to do whatever it was that got you that success?
It's all around. You can never, get satisfied in this league. And like I said, figuring out how to win in this league is very hard. And I remember those times in Denver when we were 1 game away. There was 2-3 years ago, we were 1 game away from making the playoffs, and it's just maybe if we would have won 1 back-to-back, or we would have had a few more blockouts to win a 2-point game we lost. Anything could happen at any point. So my message is don't wait. It starts the first game of the season, and game 1 counts. And as we get started, we're a young team. We have to get off to a good start. We have to. And if we want to make the playoffs, which should be our goal, we have to come out and take this training camp very seriously, and come in ready to work, ready to learn. And there's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be highs and lows. But just staying even-keeled and being able to come together and push each other to stay locked in and stay focused, because there's going to be times when you're on a losing streak and you're not going to want to play. And we're going to have to come together and figure out how we going to get a win on the road on the fourth game in 5 nights on the last game of a road trip, and it's going to be mentally challenging. It's going to be mentally and physically challenging, but, this is what we signed up for, and, I feel like this is the type of team that we're going to be up for the challenge each and every day, and, we got to come ready to work, and that's what we're going to do.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. Obviously, when you arrived here after the trade deadline, you were still kind of coming back from that injury and working your way back in. Where do you feel your game and your health is at now entering this season, and what are your individual goals or individual expectations for yourself this year?
Oh, I feel great. The staff, they've been doing a great job, getting my body right, being able to, come off that injury, continue to, get some work in this summer, really, lock in and take care of my body. And that's the main thing. And that's just, for me, trying to stay as healthy as possible and doing everything I can to go out there and, be the best player I can be on the floor. And I'm going to go out there and do whatever this team needs me to do. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to lock in on both ends of the floor. I'm going to have fun, and I'm going to, help these guys, and I'm going to bring guys with me and continue to try to do everything I can to help make this organization be a winning organization, to help get this organization back to the playoffs and continue to build with this team, to grow with this team. And each and every day, my goal is to come in with a great attitude and to get better each and every day. And that's I feel like that's how we should all, approach each day. And I'm looking forward to getting out there with these guys.
Last question for Gary. Mike?
Yeah, Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel. The vaccine has become a political issue, controversial issue. Some players get it, some players don't want to get it. What's your stance on the vaccine?
I feel like the vaccine, as we see that everything that's going around in this world, I'm happy to see that everything's, getting somewhat back to normal, being able to play in front of fans, being able to, feel that energy in the building. So I'm thankful that, things are continue to trending in the right direction and getting back to being how it should be, and looking forward to seeing this be past us sooner rather than later.
Thanks, Gary.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate it.
All right. Again, if you can state your name and affiliations. Questions for Jonathan Isaac. Start with Dan Savage.
Hey, Jonathan. Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. How's the recovery going? How are you progressing? And how are you feeling with this team heading into training camp?
Recovery has been great. I've been taking it day by day, been grinding. Markelle has been right beside me each and every day, so we've been able to feed off each other, but I'm seeing great progress, not just with my knee, but just with my game overall. With my weight, with weightlifting and all of that. So I'm pleased, I'm making strides, and I can't wait to be back.
Mr. Isaac, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, good to see you. MCW, Wendell Carter Jr., both said something about not being intimidated. Is it up to you, as being the leader of the team, to positively raise the aggression in the locker room?
I appreciate that. I think for sure, each and every one of us, not just me, but the guys who have been here, Markelle, T. Ross, Gary Harris is an older guy, Rallo, for us to be able to set the precedent and take it up a level from what we've seen in the past, and take our belief, take our aggression, take our need and necessity to win up a notch. And so that'll translate to every single guy.
Jonathan, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Kind of piggybacking off of that, we heard from Coach Mosley and a couple of the other players in terms of being able to encourage or motivate their teammates. Kind of talk about how you normally go about doing that, even as you're recovering.
Yeah, I think everything is best done by example. I'm a guy that loves to work hard, that loves to grind, and that loves to not just be about it, but also talk about it and get things out in the open and try to define ourselves as a team. And if we do that, we can hold ourselves to a standard throughout the season. So my biggest thing is talking about it. Who do we want to be? When do we want to get there? And how big do we really want to do it? and then we'll set the things in place and take strides each and every day and hold each other accountable to get there. But I have no doubt in my mind that we'll get there.
Jonathan Eric Wilson, WKII. This team has seen the playoffs, and you have been a prominent factor in that. With this young, hungry group, how do you continue that?
We have seen the playoffs. We've seen the first round, and that's not something that I'm happy with or satisfied with. So when it comes to this group, I think it's getting it in our heads that we can do bigger, we can do better in every single sense of the words. And so as we take on training camp and come together with these young guys, with this new coach, and put things together, my biggest thing is just getting that belief out there that we can be great, that greatness can happen in Orlando, championships can happen in Orlando, and it'll just be up to us to do what it takes.
Jonathan, Jamie Say, WKMG. I'm wondering if you can comment on the Rolling Stone article and your comments that appeared on that about you not getting a vaccination, why you don't want to get a vaccination, and were you misquoted in that article?
I would start by saying that I was pretty badly misrepresented in the Rolling Stone article, and because of that, I can understand anyone who may say they don't transparently or overtly trust the media. In a frustrated tweet yesterday, I had noted that true journalism was dying, and to that I would say that I appreciate every single one of you, those that try their best to correctly share the thoughts, the ideas, and the heart of the people that they're asking questions of. I'm not anti-vax, I'm not anti-medicine, I'm not anti-science. I didn't come to my current vaccination status by studying Black history or watching Donald Trump press conferences. I have nothing but the utmost respect for every healthcare worker and person in Orlando and all across the world that have worked tirelessly to keep us safe. My mom has worked in healthcare for a really long time. I thank God, I'm grateful that I live in a society where vaccines are possible and we can protect ourselves and have the means to protect ourselves in the first place. But with that being said, it is my belief that the vaccine status of every person should be their own choice and completely up to them without bullying, without being pressured, or without being forced into doing so. I'm not ashamed to say that I'm uncomfortable with taking the vaccine at this time. I think that we're all different. We all come from different places. We've all had different experiences and hold dear to different beliefs. And what it is that you do with your body when it comes to putting medicine in there should be your choice, free of the ridicule and the opinion of others.
Jonathan, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. What is it about the vaccine that makes you hesitant to get it?
I would start with, I've had COVID in the past, and so our understanding of antibodies, of natural immunity has changed a great deal from the onset of the pandemic and is still evolving. I understand that the vaccine would help if you catch COVID, and you'll be able to have less symptoms from contracting it. But with me having COVID in the past and having antibodies with my current age group and physical fitness level, it's not necessarily a fear of mine. Taking the vaccine, like I said, it would decrease my chances of having a severe reaction, but it does open me up to the, albeit rare chance, but the possibility of having an adverse reaction to the vaccine itself. I don't believe that being unvaccinated means infected, or being vaccinated means uninfected. You can still catch COVID with or without not having the vaccine. I would say, honestly, the craziness of it all, in terms of not being able to say that it should be everybody's fair choice without being demeaned or talked crazy to, doesn't make one comfortable to do what said person is telling them to do. Yeah, I would say that's a couple of the reasons that, I would say I'm hesitant at this time, but at the end of the day, I don't feel that it is, anyone's reason to come out and say, well, this is why or this is not why. It should just be their decision, and loving your neighbors, not just loving those that agree with you or look like you or move in the same way that you do. It's loving those who don't.
Jonathan, a couple follow-ups on that. Mike Bianchi, Orlando Sentinel. I'm sure you've probably been vaccinated for some other stuff, measles, things like that. What's the difference between that and this? And also, how do you feel about the more stringent protocols for unvaccinated players in the NBA?
When it comes to other vaccines, I think it's pretty simple. Or really taking any modern medicine, I think that too should be your free choice. If I had to take anything when I was a kid, it was the free choice of my parents of whether or not to give it to me. And yeah, I'm not anti-science. I'm not anti-modern medicine. If I get sick enough, I'm going to the doctor. If my current, if my wife, when we do have kids, I'm not going to deliver the baby myself. I'm going to take her to the hospital. And so it really does come down to just, believing that it's a free right of us as individuals to take it or not. And then when it comes to the NBA and them having, restrictions or rules in place, the NBA is free to make those decisions. And I, as a member of the NBA, would follow suit with whatever protocol is set before us. My only point would be, and it was pointed to in the article, but still not in the way that I referred to it. If the NBA is to give us regulations like we can't, maybe sit at the same part of the plane as the other players or eat in the same room as the other players, my only, I guess, thought on that would be I don't think it would logically follow for us to then play on the court and share the same ball and bump chest and do all those things. So if the NBA is going to do those things, I would honor it. But at the same time, I would ask that it doesn't seem logically consistent.
Okay, we have time for 3 more, so we're going to go this group right here. Go ahead, Joe.
Because of your profession and just the environment in which you play, you have teammates that you're accountable to, your coaches you're accountable to. Do you feel that internal pressure just to make sure that you're available to play games? Do you feel that internal pressure to get the vaccine? And is that something that maybe could be compelling enough to you down the road to get the vaccine?
I would say that, to me, I don't know how you all feel, but getting the vaccine is not the only way to protect the people around you. I think it's an option. I think it's a good option. With anyone who's done it, I see as those who have decided to take it as people who have decided to take it. But there are other measures to be taken to protect the people around you, like all of you are wearing masks, even though I'm sure all of you are vaccinated. Being socially distant or being wise about washing your hands, all the things that the CDC and other people have told us to do to protect ourselves. So I believe that the vaccine is an option. I don't think it's 100% necessary to think about protecting the people around you.
Jessica Ely.
No.
Is it on? Sorry. Jessica Ely with Fox 35. Just wondering, are you worried about this possibly impacting your team down the road when you guys, travel to New York and travel to Brooklyn to play the Nets or the Knicks, because they do have that rule where you have to be vaccinated to play indoors?
I'm not sure if that rule regulates for opposing teams. I'm not sure. But I think, for me, I'll just take everything in stride and figure out things as we move forward. I'm not set in stone. Like I never said I was proudly unvaccinated. Even if I am, I'm not someone to come out and say that in any way. So I say I'll just take it in stride, and if it does come up or if there is any problems, I'll handle it when it comes.
Okay, Jonathan. Adam Shadow, Fox 35. Two parts here. What has been the reaction from your teammates to this news? And I know you're a deeply religious person, a man of faith. How much, if at all, did that play into this decision or your thinking at all?
When it comes to my teammates, coaches, everybody, to be honest, no one has really cared. I haven't had any conversations with teammates on whether or not I'm vaccinated or not, or whether or not they are vaccinated or not. When it comes to being religious, I think God calls us all to be wise. I think there are people who believe that Jesus is alive, that he's a protector, that he's a healer, that he's a friend that you can trust in before you trust in any man. And I'm not ashamed to say I'm one of those people. But at the end of the day, God calls us to be wise and lean to our own convictions on what it is that we want to do. And that's how I feel about the vaccine. Everyone should be free to make their own decision and choice And I feel that God could be leading two different people in the same place in two completely different directions. And if their conviction is, as a believer or as any faith, that I decide to take the vaccine, then I'll stand with them. And if there's anyone who says, based on my belief and my conviction, I don't want to take it, I will be right there to stand with that person as well.
All right. Thank you, Jonathan.
All right, guys, we're going to get started here. If you got a question for Robin, go ahead and raise your hand and do your name and affiliation. And we'll start with this is Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Robin, just how excited are you to get things started with this new group and getting another NBA training camp of your career underway?
You said another year of another NBA training camp, so one more year is always a blessing. I'm salivating. The past few weeks I've been on the floor with the guys. It's been a lot of fun. I realize there's a lot of work to do. We have a long road ahead, and it's not always going to be fun. But that's a challenge that you embrace that challenge.
Joe Remmett, WDBO News. Robin, welcome to Orlando. Obviously, I have a few questions. Two, not basketball related, but one is. One, are you living in the castle at Disney now? Two, have you made up with stuff? And how do you feel about the season coming in here? How have you prepped? How do you think your reaction has been with the younger guys so far?
Let me lead with the third question first. It's been really exciting so far. I think we got a well-constructed group of guys from a talent standpoint and from a personality standpoint, and I can't wait for tomorrow. Stuff. I had my first media session here a few weeks ago now, and he made a surprise appearance for me. And in the moment, it felt great. It felt good. It felt right. I haven't heard from him since then. So, I'm going to try to be the bigger man about that, but I'm not going to lie to you. I feel some way. I feel some way about that. And as far as the castle on Disney property, let me tell it to you like a fairy tale. There was once a really brave, handsome prince who was able to go over to that fairy tale castle, but he got cast out by the evil Orc King, and now he can't go over there all the time. So I'm trying to find my own little hut on the Shire somewhere.
Is it security? Are you just talking about security?
That's exactly it.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Correct me if I'm wrong. Have you never worn 33 before? Is that?
I wore it in high school.
Okay.
Yeah, I wore 4 different numbers in high school, and I'd forgotten about this. My jersey retirement was 2 weeks ago. This is a long story to answer your question. Yes, I have, but I wore 42 my freshman year of high school. Excuse me, no, I wore 44 because a senior had 42, and then my sophomore year I got to wear 42. My junior year, 42 was retired by one of Quincy Pondexter's uncles. I think Clifton wore 42, and I wore 33. And then by my senior year, I wore 21 because I wore 3 different numbers the previous years. So in a long way, yes, I have worn 33 before.
So, but it's not because that's how old you are?
No, I wouldn't be so vain.
Just checking.
Brooke Lopez, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. Due to the nature of the business, Milwaukee's current success, does it make you hungrier to obtain a ring for yourself? And on a side note, are you and Steph going to be good this season?
I'm still not sure the Milwaukee's actually won the championship. I didn't watch. I wasn't there. I didn't watch the game myself. So I guess I'll go off a basis of there's got to be some kind of proof. I'm gonna do my own research and figure out if they want it. But yeah. How dare you? This interview is over. No. I haven't seen any kind of credentials, any trophies or anything. No.
Eric Wilson, WKII. Just a quick question for you. You're coming into this team filling the shoes of Nikolai Vucevic, who was an all-star. So what aspects of your game are going to make you a formidable center?
I think there's like 3 things that all centers can do for their team. I think any center has to protect the rim. They have to work to get the ball handlers open, get them shots, and they have to run the floor in this modern game. I'm going to try to do all those things. I'm going to try to help as a vet when I can make an impact on the floor and make an impact off the floor.
All right, Melissa Thomas here with Florida National News, all the way in the back, right here. Kind of a two-parter. One, kind of talk about the significance of Hispanic Heritage Month for you, and give us another story about, particularly your last name, about Lopez. Kind of talk about that.
So, my father was Afro-Cubano. That's where I got the name Lopez. And I knew my father, but I haven't been in the past I haven't gone as in depth as I would like to into my father's side of the family. My mom, my father got divorced, but that's something I've always. I'm glad you brought up Hispanic Heritage Month, because it's always a time to kind of reflect and take that deeper dive into that part of the culture and that part of myself.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. When we spoke to you when you were introduced, you said you just kind of arrived or just getting to know the guys. Now that you've had a chance to play with some of your new teammates and get to know them on the floor, what have you seen from them, and how do you feel like you can make an impact with them as a veteran?
We've been very up tempo, but it's been cool. It's been nice to see some of the young guys be vocal on the court during drills, during 5-on-5.
All right, thanks, Robin. Appreciate it, man.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, guys. All right, welcome back, E'Twaun Moore. If you got a question for E, yes, that's right. If you got a question, just raise your hand and just do what Josh Robbins does here from The Athletic.
E'Twaun, what brought you back here?
I talked to Mose, and I heard nothing but great things about him from ex-players. Courtney Lee, guy played here, and they was together in Dallas, and was just telling me how great he was, and then being back here in Orlando, I enjoyed my time here the first time, and it helped me prepare, my success, early on in my career. So, and I always called this home. I was living here still, so it was perfect. Come back here and play also. You know what I'm saying? Like being back home. So it was just all fit in.
E'Twaun, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Good to see you back. You've been through all kinds of situations in your NBA career. For a young team starting out training camp, that's just come into a rebuilding mode, what are some of the keys to success as it gets started here?
Just taking it one step at a time. One thing when I was with Coach Tibbs, he's like, man, can't skip a step, and trying to be great. So just every day, just, working hard, practice, guys taking care of their bodies, having that unity, being together, just every step of the way. But knowing that this is going to be a process, that's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be a process. And as long as guys are hungry and want to keep getting better, you'll see some success.
Cody Taylor, USA Today. E'Twaun, what are some of your initial impressions of this roster? when they draft Jalen and Franz there high up in the draft?
You got a lot of young talent. Just the athleticism. Somebody asked me that in one of my interviews. I'm like, some of the difference. I'm like, man, the guys are so athletic. I'm like, man, when I first started playing, you had got point guards that set it up and just pass, but just the talent level already. Guys shooting the ball, shooting the three ball consistently. But those guys, I can tell that they're hungry, that they want to learn, want to get better. So long as you got that, they're gonna be pretty good.
Etuan, Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. When you look back last year at your time in Phoenix in that locker room, you think about what the Magic are looking for from you as a leader. What can you draw from that you learned from Monty Williams, Willie Green, of course Chris Paul, some of the most respected leaders around the league, and can you bring any of that to Orlando specifically?
Oh yes, of course. It's crazy. Let me see. Last year I was the second oldest on the team too in Phoenix. So I definitely helped out the guys a lot during our championship run, and some people might not know it, but I helped. I was very vocal in the locker room, so I definitely want to bring some of that experience to here. But it was just the culture with Monty. I mean, he was just a leader first. And just setting an example every day, how you want guys to work. Being in the gym early, before practice, 20 minutes before, make sure we get shots up. 20 minutes after, make sure you get shots up. Just putting in that work, and just building a great culture. Everybody wanting to win and buy in. No selfishness. Keeping everybody together as a unit, and just working hard. And if we could help bring that culture here, like I said, it'll pay off sooner than later.
Etuan, right here. This is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. So we heard from Coach Mosley and several of the other players, first of all, that he has a lot of energy and he kind of excites everybody, gets everybody pumped up and kind of ready to go. And also talking about the bond that the team has. Kind of talk about your perspective on that and what it means to you.
Yeah, anytime you got a coach that's, that's vocal and that's bringing great leadership, I mean, the guys only want to follow that. That energy is definitely contagious with everyone, so that's definitely great to have, especially with a young group. Every day just having that same positive energy and vibe. Even if after wins or losses, we have that same energy. It's going to be more positive than negative. What was the second part you asked me again? Oh, the bond? Yeah, that's one thing. Yeah, I only been here for a week, so but the bond, but I can just tell already that the guys, it's how they joke around with each other, just in the locker room, not even on the court. But that's the way they talk with each other. Everybody communicate, joking around, having conversations, talking about life and other stuff. So I can tell these guys all good people, So anytime you got good people that want to be around each other, it make it more fun and make it easier to work.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Welcome back, Etuan. I wanted to kind of piggyback on Cody's question. You mentioned guards today, and it's changed, I guess, since you came into the league. Right. You look at this backcourt, the young talent that they have. How much has it changed as far as having multiple ball handlers on the floor at the same time? And what do you see as far as capabilities go between Markelle, RJ, Jalen, and the young backcourt?
Oh, yeah, it definitely changed a lot. Because my first year, they was like, man, are you a tweener? Like, you can play the point, but then you better at shooting. So, like, I don't know which one you are. But now it's like perfect. That's what everybody want. Basically, like, combo guards, 2-point guards on the floor. At first, all the shooting guards was 6'7", 6'6", but now you got 6'4", 6'3", 2 guards. So the game definitely changed a lot faster. Pace guys that do multiple things, not just one-dimensional. And our team, we got that. With those guys. With Jalen and some of those guys, they can play off the ball, play on the ball, play up tempo, athletic. So I think it's gonna be fun. It'll be an exciting team to watch. Probably surprise some people. I feel like this year, so it should be good.
Mr. Moore, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. Did you feel any pressure coming back, and why is the timing now right?
Y'all feeling pressure? No, I don't know what pressure is, me personally. I never felt pressure playing basketball. I mean, this has always been fun, just an outlet for me. So, no, definitely never no pressure. But it's just exciting. I mean, opportunity just presented itself. You know, the guys that called me up and like, you want to come join the team? I'm like, yeah. You know, they're like, we need a veteran leadership role. You help the guys out, and that's something that I enjoy. It's just a passion for me. I like seeing people grow. You know, being able to give somebody advice, and then seeing them go out there on the court and get 22 points off shooting a pull-up jumper or something. You know, that's just exciting for me and fun. So that part of it was just cool for me.
Our last one for Etwan.
Etwan, you were here for 2 years when the team had started a new phase in its growth. What are some of the lessons that can be drawn from that experience and applied now?
Oh yeah, from that experience, just patience. It was crazy. Our team, the first time, was very talented. And a lot of those guys, I mean, even some of the guys that left was all-stars. Yeah, like 2 or 3 guys that was all-stars from that team that I was on. And I saw a lot of success. I mean, I was still young at the time, so for me to even be here playing my 11th year, you know, just learning a lot from that time. But, you know, just patience and know that if you work hard, that you can be whatever you want to be in this league. That's what it taught me.
Thanks, Etwan.
Yep. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it. All right, if you got a question for Chuma, raise your hand and we'll get started here with Dan Savage from OrlandoMagic.com.
Hey, Chuma. Thanks again, Dante Marchitelli. What a great job by Dante so far. Chuma, as things are getting off for training camp, Jeff Weltman alluded that you might be dealing with something. Just how are you feeling, both personally and about this team heading into training camp?
Personally, I'm feeling better every day. You know, my hip's starting to feel better, and I'm starting to move a lot on the court. And about the team, I feel like we could do good this year. All we got to do is, well, it's easier said than done, but I feel like we just got to continue to work hard every day, come in and practice like it's going to be our last practice, or play every game like it'll be our last game. You know, basically not taking nothing for granted, and, you know, just continue to play for each other. And, you know, and hopefully everything else will play its part.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. Obviously, rookie year last year was a bit odd with all the COVID protocols and the shortened season. But what did you take away from your rookie season and the experience of going through the NBA for the first time?
I say one thing I took away is that it all moves fast. You know, the season moves fast. I feel like just last year it was my rookie. Well, it was my rookie year last year. But basically, yeah, the season moved real fast, and just take every day, one day at a time, every step, one step at a time, and just enjoy the process and enjoy it while you're here, because, you know, this is a real blessing to be in this position. Not everybody to be in this position, but everybody wants to. So, you know, just take it one day at a time and just enjoy the process while I'm here.
Chuma, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, and ESPN. About a year and a half ago, Mr. Weltman said there wasn't a snowball's chance you were going to be available in the second round. And after your rookie year, it's easy to see that you're emerging. What have you soaked in your rookie year, and what expectations do you put on yourself for this upcoming season?
Some things that I soaked in is probably just going out there and playing and not being scared or not being too hesitant to make mistakes, because most of the time when
when you're scared or when you're hesitant, that's when mistakes occur. So, and then for this season, I would like to see myself, just be more patient out there on the court. Don't really be stargazed when things don't go my way or something like that. Just, like I said, be patient and, make people around me better and also make myself better as well by just going in, working hard, and try to, I don't want to say lead by example, but, just give something to rub off on everybody else.
This is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News, right back here. We've heard from a lot of the other players about like their impressions of Coach Mosley and how he kind of leans a lot on motivation and things like that. What has been your impression of him, and how do you normally motivate yourself or motivate your teammates?
I like Coach Mosley. He's not only a good coach, I feel like, but I feel like he's a good person off the court too. I don't think he's just here to just help us win games or help us become better players. I feel like he's also here to help us become better men off the court as well. So yeah, I like him. He brings a lot of energy to the team, being that he works out with us sometimes. He jump in drills with us. So I like the energy that he brings. And how do I motivate myself? Shoot. I just think about where I came from, and I feel like that's all the motivation I need right there. And yeah, that's it.
Chuma, from your perspective, what's the difference defensively and offensively between playing the 4 and playing the 3?
I say the difference is, there's some threes that's like a small 3, and some 4s that's a small 4. It just depends on, I guess, who plays the position. Because you can have some 3s that could play 4, and you can have 4s that could play 3. So I don't know. It's kind of like, honestly, it just depends on who plays the position, I guess.
Follow-up question, since you had the whole offseason to work. How are you a different player between the end of this past season and now?
I guess I could say I'm more confident. Not saying I wasn't confident last year, but, confident building on my other confidence that I already had. And like I said earlier, just me working on my patience on the court and not rushing or not, having wide eyes when everything is going crazy or something like that. Just me being calm and patient. I want to see that for myself this year.
Chuma, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. It's not often two great musical artists take the practice floor, but you were there the other day with J. Cole. What was that experience like? As somebody who's a musician, getting to meet him.
It was cool, especially because it's a lot of people. I haven't really met any rappers or any famous people, but from the stories that I hear and from what I kind of see, there's not a lot of people that has his that is up there where at the level that he's at, that is like humble like he is, or that's down to earth like he is. Like, he was a real cool dude. He was a cool person to be around while he was here, and from what I've seen, he seems like a humble guy and a down to earth type of guy.
Last one, Phil.
I have two questions. First, do you still have the sunglasses? And second, we've heard from a lot of the guys about how tight this group is, and we know that you guys took that trip up to Charleston. How important was that to kind of building the bonds of the team and just kind of building this group up?
Sunglasses, I don't know where they at. Like, them sunglasses was from my freshman year in college, so I don't even know where they at. I probably do somewhere though. And as far as bonding, yeah, I feel like that trip in Charleston, that definitely helped us bond, because we spent like every day together. It wasn't a day that we wasn't together. And, from the boat trips to the late dinners and to just chilling in each other's room, playing the game, just stuff like that. So I feel like the closer we are off the court, that'll also help us when we play on the court too, as well, as far as holding each other accountable. And also as far as just having fun with each other and getting better.
Thanks, Chuma.
Right,
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
here somewhere. There he is. That's my guy, Joe.
He was waiting for you, too.
Me and Joe work together, if you guys don't already know. Yeah.
Terrence Ross podcast?
Yes, sir, T. Ross. My man, good to see you. And we play like MLB The Show sometimes.
I like it.
Barely.
Well, we'll start with
Barely.
Dan, and then we'll get into all that. I look forward to it. All right, Dan, you're up first.
Cool.
Dan Savage from OrlandoMagic.com. Take it full circle. I actually coached Joe in youth basketball back in the day.
Wow. It's a regular old family reunion.
Yeah, going full circle here. Terrence, this is an additional training camp for you. You're one of the few guys who've been through this process a number of times before, but do you still get excited to start the process and get everything underway, as you get ready for another season?
Yeah. Going into training camp 10, is the only thing that's really different right now is the coaching staff, the terminology. So, once you get that pretty much down, and the game of basketball is a game of basketball. So I'll pick up on that pretty soon or pretty quick. But 10 years, it's amazing. Super blessed to be in this position. I don't know. It's just taking it all in right now.
Terrence, this is Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. As someone, speaking to what you were saying about, kind of the younger guys, kind of talk about your rapport with them and obviously how the locker room is. Everybody's been kind of joking. Michael Carter Williams talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of talk about your rapport with the younger guys.
With the younger guys, it's really kind of leading by example and not really pushing too hard. I think one thing as a younger guy is like everybody will listen to somebody who they respect, and somebody who's not, always trying to like force their opinion down everybody's throat and kind of trying to get everybody on the same page that way. So I'm good with the guys, man. I talk to them a lot, especially the younger guys. We're always cool, cracking jokes. That's probably the easiest way to bond with them. But for the most part, we pretty much, most of us have known each other for some time, and it's been fun, man. We all kind of getting to learn each other now, but we're doing a lot of stuff off the court with each other, which is always huge. People are spending time with each other. Nobody feels like a stranger to anybody, so that's always a good sign. But just lead by example.
Terrence Ross podcast and WDBO News.
Yes.
Two things. One, you have a podcast? I didn't know that.
Big time, yeah.
Yeah. And then second, why are you running from me in MLB The Show?
Man, I'm not running from nobody, bro. But since I switched to PC, it's kind of picking up on the podcast thing. The podcast has been amazing. Been going on in just a little over a year now. So that's the biggest positive that came out of me during the pandemic, was just starting my own new brand. And I think the more as time goes on, I'm kind of expanding that more and more. And now I'm on Twitch every other night, just trying to, grow this my Terrence Ross brand, I guess. So it's been fun. Shout out to Joe for all the help.
Terrence, Eric Wilson, WKII. Always good to see you. I said this to Markelle. I'm going to ask you the same thing. You're a leader amongst men right now. You're a veteran. And with the guard play here at the Magic, there seems to be, in my opinion, a little too many mouths to feed. So as a leader, are you going to be more of a facilitator and a floor general, or are you going to be the guy who, when needed, just calls your own number?
I'm going to be whatever the team needs me to be. I spoke with Mose and the other coaches, and that was just kind of the biggest thing I relayed to them is just like, man, I know I'm like the last guy here from the last regime, but whatever you guys need, like I'm here for you. If you guys need me to facilitate more, I'll work on that. If you guys need me to score in different ways, I'll work on that too. I'm really here for whatever y'all need me to do. So I'm here to get in or fit in where I get in, and hopefully, we build some things around that, and I can help any way I can.
Cody Taylor, USA Today. Terrence, what have been your initial impressions of Jalen Suggs in the brief amount of time you've seen him?
And he's good. He's very talented. He's when you think of football players and basketball players and they play both, you usually think of like some deficiency or some glaring, deficiency that they have when it comes to something. But he's really well-rounded in everything. Like I've seen him attack the rim, shoot, He handles the ball really well. He's physical in the paint. Like his footwork is really amazing to see. So it's been fun watching him, and he has that toughness still, and I think he's gonna bring a whole just more of that toughness to our team, especially at the guard play. Between him, Markelle, and and Cole. Those are some physical guards. Even though they might be a little undersized, but those guys they have big shoulders, and we've seen Kel give LeBron the big shoulder. We've seen Cole jump out of the gym and get rebounds and tip dunks. And I think with Suggs, you're going to see, a little bit of both. He can shoot it, he can pass, he can dribble, he can attack the rim, and he has good size on him. So that's been the biggest thing overall is just his size and just his awareness for the game has been really amazing.
Terrence, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, and ESPN. You've been here for a cup of coffee or two.
Yeah, for sure.
What feels different about this team, and what do you like about this new coaching staff?
What feels different about this is a completely different team. That's probably the biggest feel of it. And the coaching staff is, this is Moses' first year, and he's eager to come in and learn, and he brings the energy with him every day that is contagious. And that's going to be the biggest thing. But for the most part, it feels a little different, but not so much different. We have some returning guys, and we have some younger guys join the ranks, but it doesn't feel weird as much as that sounds weird. It's just even though we met these guys not too long ago, everybody's gelling perfectly, and it's feeling like we're gonna be comfortable with each other when we get out there on the court.
Terrence, Josh Robbins with The Athletic. In any walk of life, you'd be a young man, but here you're one of the older people. What's that like for you? And how far have you come since in that regard?
It's actually not as bad. Yeah, for sure. Anywhere else, if I'm on the Lakers, I'm for sure one of the younger guys. But here, it's a completely different story. But it feels good, man. I'm getting to see both sides of the whole picture. I literally came into the league in the same position these guys are, just one of the younger guys, not really seeing too much in front of me. And now to be here, year 10, I kind of see a lot more of the picture. So it's fun, man. It's a full circle type of thing, and it's just taking it day by day. It's new for me too. Now that I'm the oldest, not even the oldest. We have Rolo, so he played with Shaq. So I'm always gonna feel good about being the second or third oldest. But I don't know, man. It's gonna be another journey. Just that's what I'm excited for. This is something new to me too. Being in this position. So this is gonna be a first for me.
The last one, Jake Chapman.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Terrence, I just wanted to ask you about Mo Bamba. It's obviously a big year for him. I don't think I'm saying anything you would disagree with to say that the start to his career hasn't quite gone the way he's wanted it to. Injuries have played a role in that. What do you think it'll be for everything to click into place for him? And do you think he understands sort of how important this season is for him?
No, for sure. That's the thing, man. People have up and down journeys all the time. It's all about finding your niche, what you're good at, and getting better at it. And I think, especially this last season, with all the injuries we've had, the trades and everything, Mo got to grow into himself a lot more. And those last 15 to 20 games, Mo played really well. He showed glimpses of what he can do, and that gave him confidence to go out there and to keep doing that. And you can just see it in him. Like now, he doesn't feel like everything's new to him. He feels he has a lot more of that comfortability with his surroundings, and I think he's going to be well. Like even these games that we've been playing, Mo's been playing really well. He understands the game. He's just maturing, man. That's what happens. Everybody goes at their own pace, but we all have the utmost confidence in Mo to be that guy. And he's a good player, man. He has a lot of things that you can't teach, and he's just everybody takes time. I remember I was in that same position 4 or 5 years ago. It's all about how much you want to work, how much you want to get better, and just being in the right place. And right now, this is the best place for him. And he's gonna grow. He's gonna have a good year. And you can just see it. And he's gonna grow into himself.
Thank you, Terrence.
For sure.
Good
Thank
to
you
see
guys.
you. Welcome back. All right, you got a question for Jalen? Raise your hand, name, affiliation. We'll start with Mr. Savage.
Jalen, Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. We talked at Summer League that kind of you took a moment before draft night to reflect on that, kind of a moment before your first Summer League game. Have you taken a moment to reflect on starting on your first training camp and what that experience will be like and what it means to you?
It's funny that you asked. I think that'll come like literally tonight once we're all done here. I'm kind of just at the house chilling, kind of getting ready to go to bed and get ready for tomorrow. It feels like time has flown. Like the fact that we have training camp, but like we travel on Sunday to go to Boston. Like the fact that it's here already is crazy. So again, I'm gonna take that second, whether it's tonight, whether it's as we're getting ready to travel on Sunday and getting ready to play. I'm gonna take a second, of course, and just sit back because. I mean, again, you can't experience these things, for the first time again. So, for sure.
Melissa Thomas with Florida National News. Question for you. What is the skill you want to focus on building on for yourself for this upcoming season?
I think overall just becoming a better player every day, and that includes my body, my jumper, my handle, IQ, things like that. But one thing I know that me and I've been working a lot with each one is on my floater and getting to different spots on the floor and getting comfortable in the paint. Just because the more dangerous you are in there, defense have to respect it. They have to start helping and bring extra people in, and that opens up the floor for everybody else out there with me. So I know that's one thing that me and him have been working on together a lot.
Eric Wilson, WKII. First off, welcome to Orlando. My question to you is the coaching staff. What have they asked of you? I know you're a rookie, but what have they asked of you coming in to make yourself a part of this team?
We haven't gone extremely in depth. Like we haven't sat down and have, a conversation where like, this is what we need you to do. Early it's kind of just been get comfortable, take care of your body, get up and down, kind of get in the rhythm and feel of how every day is going to be like. But, in the conversation that we have had, short ones, just to be myself and be who I am. And that's exactly what they need from me. And myself is, me being a leader, me bringing in every day, me just being a positive spirit out there on the court and in the locker room. And then the basketball stuff, I put the work in, so that'll all take care of itself. But really just to be there, for everybody on the team and be the greatest team that I can.
Jalen, Chris Cuff from 24 Flicks. Welcome to Orlando. So what's it been like? You're here in the town. You're a professional now. Got to get your crib. Got to get your work-life balance going. How's it been for you so far? And as you get ready to dive into the real professional grind of the NBA?
It's been great. Exciting day to day. I get to move into my condo. I don't got to live out of a hotel anymore. That's kind of been a struggle, but everything other than that has been perfect. I love, getting adjusted to the city. I found some different spots I like to go to, different food spots, just kind of kick it spots, places I like to hang out. So, I love getting adjusted here. The weather, of course, a lot better than Minnesota. It's already getting cold. So, I'm missing out on that. But then again, just getting accustomed to everybody on the team and being around them every day. Because, I spend almost my entire day here. Really, and I go back and, by the time you account for a lunch and, maybe a short nap or going to do something in the evening, you really don't have much time. So being around here with everybody, and that goes for everyone on the roster, the staff, everybody involved who I see here on a daily basis. I love being around them. So adjustment's been great. I'm gonna have to make another adjustment once the season starts, of course. But love my time here.
Cody Taylor, USA Today. Jalen, you're kind of considered one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year. Where do you kind of view yourself in that race, and what are some of your expectations or objective goals this season?
My expectations are come in and help this organization, this team win. And I think in doing that, everything else will take care of itself. And whatever position I fall in, I fall in. But as long as I handle everything and get better every day and come in and work, grow, and get some wins with the team, all that kind of correlates and comes together at the end of the day. So, that's, personal accolade is never my main focus. As long as I win at the end of the day, it don't matter what else happens. I'm satisfied.
Jalen, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. What can you take from Gonzaga over to the NBA that's going to carry with you? And you said refortifying the franchise and bringing a winning mentality. Did you place that on your shoulders, or is that a group mentality amongst you and your teammates?
No, that's a group thing. There can't be one person. There can't be 4 or 5 who buy into that. There can't be half the team who doesn't, half the team who doesn't. Like that has to be, when you're looking for a culture change, and for real change amongst anything. But here we're talking about organization. You need everybody bought in, and the staff is 100% there. The way that the energy that they bring, they're there for us on the court, off the court. Just good people who are easy to be around, and that's the exact same with our roster. We got a mix of some vets in there, but young guys who are hungry, ready to play, ready to get better, willing to learn. And that's who I want to be around. That's a group every day I can come in and give my all for, because I know they'll do the exact same. So coming in again, being myself, coming from Gonzaga, to answer your question, I think the biggest piece that I'm going to carry over from Gonzaga to here is kind of how to be professional in all aspects. That's one thing that I really learned, especially being around Corey and Joel. That's seeing how they put in their body of work every day and took care of their body afterwards, and off the court, how they handle themselves and carry themselves, and then how they allowed themselves to be open to me, coming in and being a leader. There was something that, or I had to go earn it and really get their trust and respect. It wasn't something that, okay, as high recruit, he's going to just, be a leader, and that's what it is. Same goes for here. I came in, I put my body of work in. I've learned, been under these guys and got to be around them. And, hopefully going into training camp, I really get to, show how much of a leader I am, and how I feel my skill set works in that. So, yeah, really just, excited to get going and get this thing rolling.
Jalen, Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. In the fall, growing up, you would be playing, football right now on Friday nights. And so I think in the draft you mentioned that you've never really had a true offseason to focus on basketball, 24/7. Even at Gonzaga, you had class and college life. So what have you been able to do in this time in an offseason where you're just focusing solely on basketball? And how can you use your background in football to adjust to the physicality of the NBA?
So, yeah, I'm a little jealous of everybody else playing football right now. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, the guys joke around me here all the time. Coaches, staff, everybody. You're such a football player. Like, you don't have to run through every screen or get hit on every screen. But I mean, that's kind of who I am. And that's the mentality that I embrace. To get hit or get hit, or my bad, to hit or to get hit. That's just a mindset that I bring. So I think that football definitely plays a role, in the physicality, for sure, in how I play on the basketball floor. But yeah, I mean, really just been able to get my body, really just work my body for basketball, not for football. It's a different, it's a different lift, it's a different regimen, different routine, for each sport. And then just to really hone in on my craft. Again, one thing that I could really can tell the biggest difference in is, now I'm really starting to see all the little things, like going to my jump shot, and be able to get them to consistent every time, so that when I miss or something's off, I know exactly what it is and I'm able to correct that. And really just be a basketball player. This is where my time dedicated is now, my mental focus, my mental energy. So, looking forward, I've gotten a lot better. I feel a lot better. Just looking forward to, putting that all into action here once we get going.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. 2 questions. First one's just a quick one. How often do you talk to Corey and Joel? Are you guys on a group chat? Is that daily?
It's not daily. We hit each other up all the time. I mean, I sent Corey and Joel TikToks all the time, and I was just talking to Corey last night and things like that. So yeah, we definitely stay in touch.
Second one is just about how you set goals for yourself. Is it something where you're setting a very concrete, specific goal? I want X amount points per game or whatever, or is it just sort of a daily, just try to get better every day type situation?
Nah, it's more of a daily thing, because I think every day is different. So it's hard to really set something concrete. This is how good I want to be. This is where I want my body to be. This is where I want, points, assists, rebounds. whatever it is. Like all that can change on a nightly basis. I might not need to score on a night. We got some hot hands and people, have it going. They're knocking down shots. I need to facilitate and play defense. I need to attack the glass because, we lost the rebound battle, the last 3-4 nights. So, I'm in there, and that's kind of where my energy needs to be for us to be successful. So I don't think that you can put a specific stat line out there, to kind of chase just because of how much it changes on a nightly basis. But just coming in every day, wanting to get better, wanting to learn from mistakes, build on some ups and some good things. And like I said, just continue to grow and, keep this team growing and keep us rolling.
Philip Rossman-Reich, Orlando Magic Daily. We saw on social media with you and the bunch of guys in Charleston. How important was that trip to integrating with the team? Obviously you played with some of them in summer league, met some of them there, but how important was that trip to really getting to know your new teammates and kind of beginning to get a feel for what the NBA is going to be like?
It was really important because we worked out. We put our work in, we lifted, we shot, got on court, but it was like a really good icebreaker just to kind of this is everybody. See everybody's face, some of the guys I hadn't met yet, see their faces, kick it with them just outside from hoop, and really just chop it up with them. So it was really important, just to kind of break the ice and, get rid of any, kind of unknowns or, a little tension. I'm not going to say tension. Just icebreaker. I'm chatting now. I'm talking too much. It was a great icebreaker, and, I had a lot of fun there.
Last one, Nick.
Yeah, Nick Reynolds, WDBO News. Your coach said today it was too early to discuss starting a rookie or two rookies at the beginning of the regular season. Is that a goal and expectation of yours to be a starter on this team?
Again, like I said about the whole leadership role, that's something that you have to earn. I don't want it to be handed out to me, first of all, and I don't expect it to be handed out for me. I'm going to come in and, these couple days in training camp, preseason, I'm going to work. I'm going to continue to learn, continue to talk to coach, pick his brain, pick everybody on the team's brain, really get a feel for how things are, and then be my best self. And, if that ends up with me starting, great. If it ends up with me coming off the bench, perfect. I know I'm going to be on the floor and be able to have an impact on the game. So whether that's from the start of the game, or the first couple minutes, that doesn't really mean too much to me.
Great job. Thanks, Jalen.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. All right. Franz, good to see you, bud. Good to see you. Good to see you, man. Thank you. Yes, sir. All right, you got questions for the brothers Wagner? Raise your hand. And name and affiliation. We'll start with Dan.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com. Obviously, training camp's an exciting time, for any player. But to have the opportunity to do it with your brother, just how unique is that, and how extra special is that opportunity?
For me, being my first year, I was gonna be excited and a little nervous anyway. But this changes the whole thing a little bit. It's been a little adjustment for us too, but it's been a lot of fun as well. We've never really practiced together in a team setting, so Mo's a very energetic guy, so I think it will be a lot of fun.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Mo, similar question. You've got the experience, obviously, of having gone through this. Have you already sort of walked him through it, or are you sort of, as the elder brother, I'm just going to let you learn and take your lumps?
Well, it's one of these things. You can talk all you want. He has to make that experience himself anyway. So, yes, sure. I can be of advice, but first of all, I'm trying to figure things out too, and second of all,
he has to make that experience for himself. But he's a super smart dude. Like, he'll figure it out, I'm pretty sure. And like he said, I just enjoy being together and doing this together. Obviously, a very close family, so it's super cool for us.
Joe Remitt, WDBO. Fran, or you guys both wore 21 at Michigan. You're both wearing 21 now. How was 21 decided as the number that the older brother was going to get? As a younger brother, I feel like you have to give up that right, but you could have played basketball against each other. I don't know. How was that decided?
How it happened? Can we set that straight for one time, for once? What? Well, I was asked too if I like took your number away or something. Well, you kind of did. I did have it in some of them.
It was a misunderstanding. It was
It was his number last year, so I think it was just the only right thing to do to give it back to him. There was a time period where we weren't sure if he was going to be with the Magic, so I liked the number 2, and I think Otto Porter had it last year, and there was also a time where I didn't know if 22 was going to be open, so that's why I changed back.
Wagner brothers, Alex Fleming, Florida Sun, NSPN. Your different skill sets, how can they be utilized at the same time on the court?
I think we're both, at least on offense, pretty versatile. I think we both move really well for our size and can do a lot of stuff with the ball. And I think that's good for any offense. I think we both can shoot the ball really well and do stuff off the dribble as well, even being taller guys. And I think on defense, switching. At least that's one thing that I want to do a lot or get better at on defense and keeping guys in front of me. And but honestly, I think we're similar players. He just plays more bigger position, and I think we have similar skill sets. Though I think also growing up, obviously, almost the same way. It does that to you. Yeah.
And to add to that, he's literally the easiest teammate to play with ever. He doesn't really for me, like, we've played open gym a little bit, and it's like really easy. He doesn't really need the ball to be good at what he does. He spaces the floor, and he moves super smart without the ball. And so it's really on the others to make it work, because he does a great job of playing without mistakes and just fitting in for his young age. So I just wanted to add that.
Aaron Goldstone, Orlando Pinstripe Post. Mo, really quickly, can you just describe what it was like this summer playing for your country in the Olympics? And Franz, what was it like watching your brother represent Germany? And is that something that you would like to do in your basketball future?
Yeah, it was kind of my first summer with the national team on that level. So for me, it was very special. I didn't really have it on my radar as much this year that we could go to the Olympics. Obviously, you go to the qualifier thinking you can win, but then when it happens, it's like reality is different than what you thought. So it was a very unique experience. I'm very, very happy that I've done that. It was for sure a dream of mine to do that. Honestly, I always talked about, like, it would be cool to, like, play with my brother in the national team together, and now we kind of got it done in one summer in a different circumstance, So to be able to say that I was part of an Olympics is pretty special, and was a great opportunity for me.
Yeah, I mean, it was really cool for me to see him play and play the way he did too. I think his way of playing is a little different from what people are used to in Germany, and so bringing that to the team, I think, was really cool that he just did his thing out there. And I mean, I think the last Olympics that they've been to was 2008 or something like that. So I mean, it has been a while, and just for the country itself, for basketball Germany, it was a huge thing, and it was super cool to see him on that stage.
Josh Robbins with The Athletic. Mo, I was really intrigued by what you said about how easy Franz is to play with. In your experience, how rare is it for a 20-year-old to be as easy to play with and effective without the ball as Franz is?
You're forcing me to give him credit now, which I hate. So thank you for that. No, obviously, yeah, it's very unique. People forget, like, we never played together. So this is unique for me as well. I've picked up on that at Michigan already. I think him learning how to play with the pros, with Alba Berlin, that concept they've ran there helped him a lot. But he just perfected it on this level in a certain way that if you sub him in, like, you don't really give anything up. He doesn't really make mistakes, and those are the best teammates to play with at any level, I think. So I've picked up on that pretty quickly. Obviously, it helps when he makes shots. Because then he just looks like a genius. But you can't say he played well. He played bad if he doesn't make shots, and that's a strength of his. And obviously, very impressive. And as a big brother, obviously, you look at that and you say, okay, how can I add that to my game as well? So that's pretty cool. Thank you, bro.
Jake Chapman, Magic Radio Network. Franz, you guys are obviously two completely different players, but watching Mo as you were growing up and then since he got into the league, what are parts of his game that you would like to be able to show early on in your career?
I think something that I got to get better at is aggressiveness and kind of not getting lost in the game and playing off the ball a lot. I think what Mo does really well is just come in and be himself in whatever circumstance that is. So whatever minute he comes onto the court, he's just being Mo, and I think that's something that I got to get better at and impose my will or my game a little bit more sometimes. And obviously there's a balance to do both, but I think that's one thing that I would say.
Last one, Josh.
Yeah, thank you. What do you think this is like for your mom and dad to see this?
I imagine it's a super cool feeling, I hope, for them. Their upbringing and the way they lived is so far away from this type of life that just for Mo to make it and just seeing us in college even was a lot for them. And I think now seeing us both in the NBA has got to be super cool for them.
That, and also like just knowing that you could sit at the dinner table together as a family, and that both sons play in a professional sports league, and live together basically, and you have the whole family at Christmas together. That's like a very unique opportunity in this profession. So I think all of us are very appreciative and try to take this all in.
When you guys were growing up or children, did any of you ever even raise the goal of something like this happening? Did you even dare mention it, or you think it could possibly come true one day?
I would say it's one of those things where maybe a friend or somebody brings it up and then you just kind of laugh it off, like because the chances are really so slim to first just make it to the NBA both and then play on the same team. But really, in Germany, like I said, just making it here seems so far away, and I think that itself makes it that much cooler, I think.
And you also don't control it, so there's a certain level of, you can't really, you have to be lucky in a sense. You have no control over it whatsoever. So to be in this position is very special, but also, like, let's not forget, like, this is not a fairy tale. This is like a job, and you wake up every day to get better and win basketball games. And I think you guys stay in reality too. It's all cool and stuff, but I think that's, what we are with too, that, okay, we go to work and we take our stuff very serious and kind of get rid of that outside noise sometimes as well.
Great. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.
I appreciate it.